Hey, what's up, guys? We're back. Another episode on Earth with Mr. Techie over here. How's it going, bud?
Doing all right, guys. Welcome. Hope you can enjoy the show today. How you doing, Tim? How you doing?
Oh, another day grinding it out, hump day.
Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah, man. But yeah, we're just hanging out, guys. Wanted to jump back on. We got pretty good views on the first one. Figured might as well keep going with it. Lots going on. Lots going on in the world of not so worldly.
Yeah,
You know.
things are getting crazier and
Uh,
crazier every day. Don't know what's happening next.
Yeah, it's crazy. One of the things like energies and stuff like that. I wonder if, like, since we were talking about the thing you had happen at your trailer last week, when that creature pretty much rolled up and you went out with the
Yeah,
handgun and this. So now it's kind of like, okay, is this thing coming back, or is it coincidence, or what's going on with it? I don't know. It's
dude. So I don't know. It's crazy. Something's out there. Something's trying to make some noise, trying to rile me up. I go out there with an AR this time. Not gonna fool around this time. Again, thinking some crackheads out there. I'm gonna take care of it real fast, but it sounded
uh
like someone threw rocks in a blender or whatever. I had a backhoe right, literally, I don't know, 50 feet from my door right here. A backhoe sitting there. It sounded like someone was either taking a shovel full of rocks and throwing it inside the bucket. Mind you, this was, I don't know, 11:30 at night. There's no one out here at this time of night, especially where I live. So it
right.
just, and I'm hearing some weird ass sounds now too. Ever since we did our last video, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
some weird stuff's happening. It knows I know it's around, whatever it is. So, gotta love it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm hoping that well, hopefully it doesn't get scraped, but I'm hoping, like, I don't know, maybe you could see it or catch some sort of a footage, or maybe,
Uh,
something. I know it just happens so randomly. It's like,
yeah,
how are you going to do that?
I have some trail cams. Just a matter of getting them out and actually setting them up. But how big this
Mhm.
property is, I'd have to
Oh
have them
yeah.
everywhere just to even have a chance. But
Yeah.
it's crazy though. I mean, I do have this main line, not too far from me, about 100, 200 feet from me, and that's where we have deer and other wildlife runs back and forth through there. So I don't know if it's that or what it is, honestly, but
Jeez,
something
I wonder.
is something's crazy. Fun stuff.
Yeah, I got a couple of the videos you sent me the other day of the people's cutouts in their yard, and you weren't kidding. They're all over the place, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Just that one that I sent you was literally, let's say, 1 mile away from here. It's right down the street, and like almost every 5 miles, you see them here at least. It's just
Damn.
people have their belief, or they just are into the whole conspiracy theory, or however you want to call that. Could just be a man running around in a bear costume for all I know. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, who
Could
knows?
you imagine that if there was just like a family in the area and they're just that was what they've done for generations is literally just go out and act. Well, I mean, that's pretty brave because around there you get your ass shot real quick.
Oh yeah, if you show up in someone's property, they have a what do you want to call this? A do not trespass clause on everything. So it's like,
Uh
hey,
huh.
bud, you're in the wrong neighborhood. You might want to walk your happy ass back, or you're gonna not find a way out of here. I'll send you to Jesus, basically, type of
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's how it pretty much is out here. I know in Cali, they're kind of like, hey, love and friendship. Let's hold hands
Oh
and
yeah.
sing Tinkerbell songs. So it's just like there's a big ass difference from one state to the next. I mean,
Yeah. Definitely.
Texas is so massive, and Texas is just like there's areas that are very similar to California, and then there are areas which are castle grounds law. So it's like, hey, dumbass, you touch my door, I'm gonna shoot you. Or it's even as bad
Yeah.
as, hey, don't step on my grass because this ain't a friendly place. So I mean,
Right.
that's just how it seems to be from place to place.
Right. Yeah, I've got this lady that continues to let her dog and I mean, mind you, I really take good care of my front grass, and she continues to let this dog shit there.
Yeah.
And one day I'm just yelling at this lady out my front door, and it's just like, dude, what are you doing, bro? You know? But it's like just people just don't like understand that even in some areas something that simple is like no thank you. I can't even imagine. I don't care where she came from in the world. I guarantee you if her dog goes and shits on the neighbor's bricks, concrete, grass, in their water, wherever you come from, they're gonna be pissed off about it.
Yeah. The whole thing is though, people don't care about anything outside of their own bubble. Like we
At
talked
all.
about last time, it's all a respect thing, or uh what was the word you use when you're aware of
There's
your surroundings? It's just
yeah, situational awareness. There's no common sense, and you're not even aware of your surroundings. You're just focused on what you're doing.
yeah.
What yeah, it
They
sucks, dude.
they're in a bubble. They got their head up their own ass, or their dog's
Yeah,
ass, in that matter. And it's just like, hey, let's just take a shit right here and walk away. I mean, right down the street from where you guys live, they have homeless people doing that in the middle of the street, so they don't see a problem with a dog doing it. So
yeah, yeah. Huh.
I don't know if you've
Well,
ever
so
seen this. Lip freaks,
what
she makes your lips tingle. It's crazy crap.
is it good?
It's just chapstick that makes your lips tingle. I
Wow, dude.
long story short, I went street walking with some friends after work one time and went into this sex shop, and they had this lip buzz crap on the just I'm like, what is that? And they're talking. It's like it just makes your lips buzz, but it's like the greatest chapstick ever. I'm like, really, I gotta try this. It's crazy. It's like the best chapstick you could think of, but it literally does like this tingling sensation for like almost a half an hour. It's just
Wow. All
yeah,
right.
it's different.
Well, there you go. Some euphor. So imagine that, and you're eating or you got a mint fucking lip going, some Zen or whatever, and then you're
Yeah.
eating some of those mint candies before you know it, dude. You're just the Iceman.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
But
cool.
I just was like, hey, I got that right there. My lips are dry. I was under the house all day. It's been hot. I'm gonna grab that real quick. No
Hell yeah.
sponsorship. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we wish. We're looking to get something. It'll happen. This is gonna take off, dude. It's just
Bass
a
Pro
matter of
Shop.
time.
Look at us. We're here. We want to talk
Yeah,
to you.
Bass Pro. We need a crossbow. There's Bigfoot. There's stuff on the property. We need some sponsors
I
here.
mean,
So
heck, if you want, I'll dress up as Bigfoot and you could record me and shoot at me with the crossbow. I don't even give a crap at this point. Just sponsor us.
hey, we'll put you in that retardant gel and we'll shoot you with the flaming arrow.
Yeah, let's do it.
Whoa, that'd be hilarious. Well, yeah, you get it.
You don't burn
Yeah,
much
dude.
with that gel.
What are some of the crazy things you guys do utilizing that land? Like speaking of shooting flaming arrows, I mean, I know you guys don't get like too out of the world, but your guys' fireworks stuff.
Yeah, we got about what was it? 4th of July last year. We had about $2,500 in fireworks. Some big old
Nice.
8-inch mortars we were shooting, and just stuff that you would swear a major city would put on for a production. We just did some jobs for people that get these things, so we just set them up and shot them
Yeah.
off, and we had them all set up on a a wood car trailer, which you know about those because that's what you work with.
Yes, sir.
After after we were shooting them all off and we all walked away, car trailer caught on fire after it, so it was pretty
Oh
interesting.
shit.
It was just the wood, so we had to run over there and put the fire out real quick. But you know, stuff happens.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely enough spark with the 8-inch mortars going off.
Yeah, lots of those. The 4 inches are fun too. Even honestly, just the 2-inch mortars, you get a couple hundred of those going. They're so fun. Honestly, we
Yeah, I
had
know.
I don't know
Mm,
1,200 people here close to at one time.
nice.
So
Checking it out.
yeah, and just we had a live band going, and I mean it's just a lot of fun. But
Yeah, that's cool. And nobody rolls out there to shut it down either, huh?
there's no noise ordinance out here whatsoever. I mean, the guy next door, he's different, eccentric. He's up playing
Uh-huh.
music until 5 o'clock in the morning sometimes, just blasting it. He's got these
Damn.
speakers that are is almost as big as me, man, and he's just in there blasting. He'd be just random crap. You go from Led Zeppelin, Nine Inch Nails, and all of a sudden it's just like some woman folk song music. So I'm like, what in the world?
Oh, he listens to music like me. I jump over I'm all over the place, dude.
Yeah, I think it helps when you got a little inspiration in you, so you just kind of
Little
choose.
liquid
Yeah,
courage
liquid
or
courage. Honestly, I don't know if it's true, but it might be a little liquid shot courage. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah,
he might be mething around a little bit.
yeah, he might be a Methodist over there. He's all right though.
He's a Methodist that attends the laboratory church. That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
Um, we see a lot of meth. You know, it's funny though. It's kind of nice now. The modern crackhead. You know what I like about the modern crackhead? They get on fentanyl or whatever, and they just start to do that kind of like the slouch thing.
Yeah, the
And I mean, they're like
the
this. They're leaned over asleep. I'm like, they ain't robbing shit. They
no,
can't even walk, dude. They're giving out more wheelchairs than needles right now.
dude. And then where is it? I don't remember what city it was. Here, let me move my camera up. It looks like I'm looking too far away. Hold on, guys. Don't get too far.
Hang in there. We're
Can you
falling
see
down
me
a
all right
tunnel.
now? I think I can see all right.
Yeah, I think
But
it's still recording at about 283, but
uh,
oh,
anyway,
right there's 1080. All right, go ahead.
but yeah, so there I was just reading that they're giving out like free needles and they're even taking like dogs on the street and injecting the dog first to see if it has fentanyl in it. If it kills the dog, they won't use it. But if the dog's all strung out and fine, they'll just start shooting up with the crap. So it's like,
Well, you know
what in the
they
hell?
started the free needle program in Europe.
That
I'm not kidding
doesn't
you.
surprise
If
me.
yeah, it's just disgust. I think it's somewhere in England or whatever, and they literally have these areas, Europe, England, all over that do these. I don't know if Ireland's doing it. I hope Ireland ain't doing
Heck,
these
Ireland
vans,
don't
and
like
they
drugs.
drive around. They're passing out needles like candy, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Ireland
I don't know.
prefer to have the good stuff like beer or I mean, they like their dark beer, so I kind of like what they like, but still, England,
Oh yeah.
that place is so trashed right now. I
It's
mean,
like a giant LA. It looks like LA but older and bigger.
cracked out,
Everyone's on that lane, man. Like,
dude.
hello.
Honestly, though, you remember the movie, the not the movie, the original music video for was it Thriller, where the
Oh yeah, the
Michael
Michael Jackson Thriller. Yes,
and
sir.
they're all zommed out and they're just like sitting there like with a
I
jacked face
love
paint,
that.
dude. That's exactly what they look like. It's like,
It wa- it was almost like that music video was trying to tell you, hey, you know, Michael Jackson Thriller was actually this is what you are on fentanyl. Doo-doo. You know, and you're just leaned out.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's honestly it's getting crazy though. I know Trumpy boy's trying to get rid of fentanyl and shut it all down. Hey, I got the
I hope
free,
so. Dude,
whatever
check
you call it.
what do you got there? So that's FRE wintergreen,
Yeah,
15 mil per pack
yes, sir.
per individual. God, dude.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's a
That's
spicy
like
boy.
and these are threes. So you had
What?
five of mine.
I got some nines. I'm
Oh,
just
all
trying
right.
them all. This one honestly, you remember zebra gum?
Uh-huh.
How it like has the flavor for like 3 seconds and it's just like
And then
spit
turns
it
to
out,
rubber band. Yeah.
or it turns to powder. I mean, one of the two is going to happen. But
Yeah.
honestly, that purple clue, I think is how you say it. It tastes like the zebra gum, but the flavor doesn't go away. It's kind of
Oh.
refreshing, but it is like a berry
Didn't you
flavor.
say it's like a 30-minute release or something like that?
Yeah, I think
Or
it's
or
30 or 45 on this sucker.
yeah.
Yeah, like a 45
Oh,
minute,
not
yeah,
bad.
45-minute release. I know some of them are like, they're pretty much instantaneous. I mean, with Zen, you pretty much feel the hit instantly and you're just like, okay. And
Yeah,
then,
that's why you know what? I just dropped back down to threes. I know I'll get banged in the comments, but I dropped back down to threes because the sixes, it's like,
Tim, you're a puss. Get your ass back
yeah,
together.
pretty much, bro. That's all right. We got this for
Yeah.
all the I'd like to see all the youngsters doing Zen pop a few of these
They don't even know what that
pinches.
is, bro. Open that up
Yeah.
so they at least have an idea.
Hey, this thing start running low. I just go out to the fucking cow manure pile and reload it. Look at
Yeah,
that
look,
thing.
it's empty. What are you talking
Look at it.
about? Yeah, that's
It's
some
so
good stuff
dark.
right
It's
there.
like a coffee grind. That's a cut. We'll get some of that going here in a minute. Yeah,
That's
but dude,
that's real tobacco right there, man. That's real authentic tobacco.
yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
what do you call it when you're in the grinder and you get the powder at the bottom? That's basically all that is.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what did it for me was the brand, Skull,
Yeah,
SKOL.
yeah. I
Well,
got
they
that here
had
for like $1.60 a pack.
oh yeah, it's like $25 here, but what you do is they have the green apple
Yeah,
long cut, and that was the first pinch of lip I ever had. And well, obviously I felt like I had drank a 6 pack. It tasted good for the first 10 minutes. Dude, next thing you know, I was spun out.
dude.
I was so dizzy. Well, then after a while, I tried it again. Then you try it again, and before you know it, it's like that was 20 some years ago. So,
Yeah, shit happens.
hey, you know
I tell
what?
you
Time
what.
flies, man.
So I have a lung issue. I have
Mhm.
this. This is an inhaler.
Uh huh.
It's 500 micrograms, I think it is, of a steroid, and then it has 50 milligrams. And now I got the hiccups. 50 milligrams of the inhalant to help you breathe.
Yeah, no doubt. So it's
If you
basically
take
kind of
that with these, especially the 15, you spin out
oh
because your heart starts racing, and you're just like, the
oh
fuck did
yeah.
I just take, bro? So it's crazy, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I tell you what, when I pretty much my whole life I've had testosterone issues growing up. High school, I was tested back when I was trying out for football, and they're like parts per million. It should be like around 350, 400 for a young kid. I was still under 250, 200, under 200. That's low,
Yeah,
low. And they never want to do anything about it. They're like,
yeah.
if you start testosterone treatments, blah, blah, blah. Ever since I started taking Zen or any of these other ones, I'm over 360 now, just with nicotine. I did so much kind of deep dive on stuff, and it
Well,
helps with testosterone. It's kind of crazy.
that that's why like this isn't as I wouldn't say this is healthy, and I wouldn't say that Zen is healthy, but
Yeah.
this is not as healthy because of the tobacco and the whatever, but supposedly microdosing nicotine every day helps with like stimulating your brain and this and that, which again, we're not encouraging it, we're not pushing it, it's nothing
Yeah.
like that. But if you're of age and you're whatever and you have the right to do what you want,
What is it,
I don't know.
21 now for
And
these? I think I used to buy them in the.
yeah, I think so. It was
I
18 when we were growing up.
Dude, I used to be able to go into a drugstore and get a pack of cigarettes for my uncle when I was 3. I would run in,
Damn.
grab them from the counter. This ain't no joke. He would give me the cash. He'd be parked outside. I'd walk up. I'd hand him the cash, and he'd be like, "Marbles." I'm like, "Yes, please, grab it. Take it back out to my uncle." He'd be driving this little Miata, whatever the
That's
heck it
so
was, and they
fucking
just give it
funny.
to me. But now
He
it's so
said
freaking crazy.
3.
When you live in a farming community, man, they didn't care. And
I
mind
love
you,
that though. It's so true. I know that. It's just it's. I expected you to say, yeah, when I was 10, or
they
that's
didn't
just
care,
funny.
man. That's the
I
difference
know.
of, and that
I
was
know.
in California. I lived in California when that happened. That's just
Yeah, and
kind
the
of,
clerk's looking out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, there's fucking Jimmy or whatever here."
yeah,
Yeah,
Jimmy's
okay.
sitting out there in his little, it was a Carmagia. The
Uh huh.
the one with the top comes off, and he's sitting in his car McGee, and I jump in the passenger seat and hand him his smokes, and the guy's like smiling, "Have a great day," you know.
That's
It was
hilarious.
just cool. They all knew us. There was like 500 people in that town total, maybe
Uh
two
huh.
million cows, but it was all farming
Wow.
community. I lived there for years,
Yeah.
and once this went, basically LA took over it and put all their homeless there. It went downhill, man.
Yeah,
And
because a lot of them
unfortunately,
never left, and then they thought they were like the native people that moved in, and it's like, no, you're a bum, crumbag, scumbag. Get lost.
yeah, and well, and then we did have the native the reservation literally right
Right.
down the street too. They were cool and everything, but once LA moved in, all the homeless, even the natives were just like, "Nah, we can't deal with this anymore. We gotta pull." So most of their people don't even leave the res anymore. They're just there all the time. I know if I would
Damn.
tell them about Bigfoot out here, they'd probably all freak out. I went to school with a lot of them. They're just like they would probably absolutely love the stories I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? To get into a little bit of a conspiracy topic or whatever, speaking of, when you lived in San Jacinto out
Yeah.
there, that big, Scientology church, dude, there's been so many documentaries that have come out about that. Did you guys ever have like any like anything amongst the town or anything that you ever heard? Because for people that don't know, that's like the one of the biggest, most powerful lockdown Scientology compounds still there today. Isn't it like off Gilman Springs Road up there?
Yeah,
Like,
Gilman Hot Springs, something like that. It's in San Jacinto.
yeah.
They had at one time it was the largest boxing camp in the North America was
Oh shit.
there, and they still have the little huts where they would all train at, and they would stay in the little dormitory huts. And so that's still standing, but it's all off limits. The Scientology people bought almost all the land around it. um,
Wow.
Supposedly there's three masons tunnels underneath it. They go all the way under the mountain there, and that has now been condemned by the Scientology people. I guess condemned is the word. They're saying you can't go in it. It's private land now. I'm like, that's been there for thousands of years because even the Native Americans have stuff in those tunnels. And then the
Yeah.
three masons, they have boxes and pillars with their logos and stuff all over them there, and you
Wow.
can't even you're not even allowed to go in there anymore. But it's basically an effing castle, man. That if you'd call it a church, their building that they have there is so large. It's just massive, man. I want to say it's as size of Disneyland. Truthfully,
Hmm.
it's very, very large. Maybe not the size of the parking structure of Disneyland, but the
I see
size
what you're
of
saying. It's a massive park because there's one point I remember when you're coming down, let's say Gilman Spring or whatever, if you didn't turn down the highway and you kept going, you kind of wrapped around the backside of it and you kind of got like a quick little bird's eye view and you could see they have like blue tile roof or something, didn't it?
yeah,
And you could see like multiple different like houses and buildings throughout, and the landscaping and everything's immaculate. There's
yeah,
this massive gate that goes all the way around, and there's these giant old school, they probably upgraded by now, the security cameras that were like
yeah. Those
30 inches long by 18 inches wide, like everywhere, dude.
Yeah, and that whole entire
So
they're up against a riverbed on one side, and they have cameras going facing into the riverbed too. So even people taking their dirt bikes, quads, whatever, down in that riverbed,
mhm.
they'll even go out and yell at them. I'm like, that's public land, that's government land right there, and is a
Yeah.
riverbed, and you'll have them yelling at you.
Hmm.
No more dust and all this stuff over there, and they have all them
Wow.
blue roofs, just like all the people in. Hawaii when that fire burned and all the energy
Yeah.
weapons that were burning everything. They say
Yeah.
was a wildfire, but everyone the blue roof,
Bullshit.
everything blue there survives. Blue cars,
Yeah.
everything around it melted, but the blue car's fine. I mean, you're looking at a building that literally melted, the glass melted, but yet the umbrellas on the tables that were blue, fine. I mean, it's
Yeah.
nylon.
I
Those
don't
things are
understand
highly
that.
flammable, but it's blue. And if the only thing that makes sense to me is an energy weapon, they proved
Mm.
years ago that the energy weapons that we have, blue reflects it completely. So if you have a or this energy weapon and a blue roof, it basically reflects it completely. There's nothing the
Wow.
energy weapon could do. Now, Is that the reason why? Or maybe it's one of their ways they get to the seven gates of whatever their belief is. I don't remember.
I heard not too long ago there's a lot of shows like about it, right? And there
Yeah.
was this one like escaping Scientology, and a few like the one famous actress lady from King of Queens, she was all about it. Well, there was a documentary that full on people said there are people being held against their will in that facility 100%,
Yeah.
can't get out. They're not going to get out. There's no way to get them out. And for some reason, that organization is powerful enough to where, like the FBI and all that, they'll investigate it and they'll look into like human trafficking, and they can it always dead ends somehow, dude.
Yeah.
So
And they just
it
pull
must be
out
a
as,
pretty powerful organization. I mean, thanks to Tom Cruise,
yeah. When he's making all these, was it millions of dollars, maybe even
at
up to
least.
$1 billion by now? How many Mission
Yeah,
Impossible movies is there? Like 12?
dude. Yeah,
So he has to be helping fund it. I know he was there at San Jacinto one time, at least once, because that is one of the largest um, synagogues, churches that they have that I am aware of.
yeah.
But
Hmm.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
I know he definitely was there. Yeah, I don't know. We watched these people that tried to catch him, and then it's like they would just get shut down, and like they have armed guards at different facilities throughout the country and stuff. And then, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's interesting, is what it
Yeah,
is.
dude. And then
We
going off of these basically superstructures or beliefs, it's like they just did all these lidar scans in Egypt, find all these massive structures under the pyramids, all these massive structures underneath the Sphinx, and
yes,
structures just outside the Sphinx have these tunnels, but they blacklist them from the public from ever entering them, and they
yep,
have zero documentation of what's inside. I mean,
yeah.
what's going on with all this stuff? I
There's
don't know.
a there's an Italian exploring company that uses a ground GPR, the ground penetrating radar, but they have a system that can supposedly go super deep, dude.
Yeah,
And there's so many people calling them like skeptics and this and that, but they're the ones who scanned the main pyramid of Giza or whatever it is, the main
yeah,
one, and that said yes, underneath it is 100% like a not a generator, but like a I can't think of the word for it, but basically like a converter. Like it
yeah.
can do what it needs to do, and it can project X amount of energy at one point utilizing the pyramid. And now it's like you said, they're strictening all the laws, and well, permits have to be certain pulled. When there's other geologists or whatever over there that they have like free range as long as they dump money into that area.
Yeah.
So like I was watching this French guy the other day, and he's digging all these tunnels all over, dude, and they're finding tombs and all this stuff, and
It
the artifacts are worth just millions of dollars. I
it's
mean,
absolutely insane, all the stuff that they're finding, man. Did you watch the
still,
Yeah, it's
you
absolutely
know,
insane. Did you watch the video I sent you about Noah's Ark? The ark that they found? Dude, not
yes.
how the
What do you think though?
honestly, man,
It looks like it. I mean,
if you follow the Bible's dimensions, it's exactly proportional, like to what
yeah,
it says for what it should be. But the fact that they're seeing a room, and as soon as they drilled into this room, they're finding radiation. I mean, the Bible doesn't talk much about what was on the ship. Doesn't talk about much. Says, what is it? Him and his the three boys, four boys, and then two of every animal was on it. It doesn't go into much detail beyond that. It talks about
right.
the trees, how many measurements of each it's going to be, but it doesn't talk about what else was on there. And they're saying with this scans, they're saying these rooms that don't make sense. There's carvings that predate any known written language throughout the entire
Damn.
ship. And then they're finding this room that seems to be living. It's breathing, oscillating in and out, breathing. And it's like when they went and scanned into that room, they drilled a hole, the radiation went off the charts. like
Sheesh.
absolutely off the charts. So they all kind of walked away until they could seal it. And it's like, okay, just a tiny hole made that much radiation leak. What's in this room? And then they did another, as you said, that ground penetrating radar. They were seeing what looked like something moving back and forth in that room, almost like would it be an angel or something, a fallen angel? Would it be one of these creatures that the
It's
angels
trapped in
yeah,
there, or
who knows? They found all these bones from all these unknown animals that don't exist on our earth today, and they're like, what is this? What caused this?
damn.
So it's like it's very interesting to go over and watch all this stuff. You're like, okay, what is all this? But
Yeah,
it's just interesting, very interesting. It was a
yeah.
great watch to see. And then what's even more interesting is the governments of the area went in, swooped in, and told them they're not allowed to release any of this information. It all has to be blacklisted. We can't release it. So what did they do? They shoved it on YouTube and pushed it out, all the information that they had at the time, so they couldn't bury it. Because we all know as soon as government pulls their strings, everything's going to be blacklisted. They can't say anything ever again about it. So I think what they were
Wow.
doing was just trying to get all the information out there so it couldn't be buried. And
Yeah.
to me, that makes the most sense. But again,
Hmm.
I'm a person here in America. I'm not over there. I'm not on site. I don't know exactly, but everything that I read about it and them going through, and it's just insane what all that they're finding in there. These again, these creatures that looks almost like a dog, but it has almost the head of a reptile. And
Yeah.
it talks about in the Bible. It talks about covering the ark from the inside and the outside with like this, what would you call it, like a pitch. That's the word, pitch. But the word pitch also translates different in like Aramaic and Hebrew. So was it pitch or was it some sort of lead shielding? I honestly don't
Right.
know. It talks about how God shut up the ark, which means he sealed the ark, and it shows scorch marks on the side of the ship that were showing that it was sealed. So it's what caused all this stuff. It's just
Wow.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's just it's like we just want more answers, and it's weird how like we're all the way to this point and we're barely finding stuff. I mean, and then it leads me to over in China, they have
China.
let they have let vegetation and stuff grow on what like aerial footage and stuff has confirmed to be pyramids.
Yeah.
But like to the naked eye, you can't really tell, but you look, and they said that those are older than the Egyptian pyramids, but that the government has never allowed access to them
Yeah.
ever.
They're
So,
saying they're finding them even in like Antarctica and stuff. There's people that
yeah,
have approached Antarctica and have said they've seen what looks to be pyramids in the ice, and even
yes.
like starships or
There's supposedly a black pyramid in Antarctica that
yeah,
they've all been searching for, and that every time they go to explore it or whatever, it gets shut down
yeah,
because
they
there's a
get kicked
certain
off.
area you can't
Yeah.
explore.
Well, even like
And it's like, what's up with that?
was it the Grand Canyon? They were
Hmm.
they have people that explored the Grand Canyon, and again, they have the government come in and shut it down as soon as they show up, just like Antarctica. It's just like, do I ever have a
There's
chance to learn something, or are you gonna just make believe everything for the rest of existence?
Yeah, there's a couple people that were going and like releasing new videos, and they were hiking in areas of Grand Canyon that you weren't supposed to, going, releasing videos as they went, and then all of a sudden it just stopped.
Yeah,
And they found like rock structures, and up above, I don't know if you saw, there was a full blown ass door painted and everything the same color as the rock with a lock on it and everything. And he's like, what the fuck? Unless some pranksters carved and glued a door up there so that everybody thought, oh, look, a secret access. He goes, it has to be an entry. And he's like, look at the way the rocks are here. They almost look like fake rocks, the way they were kind of shaped and put together, you know. And if you look back at the oldest cartoons and the oldest movies and stuff, they always used the mountain opening up and some sort of a something coming in
Yeah.
and out. Like, where would they have even thought of and got that idea, dude, unless shit had hit
Yeah.
before?
Was it something of the third kind? I think that happens in that, and then Return to Witch Mountain or something like that. They always have these alien or
Yes.
otherworldly spacecrafts coming out of the mountain. So I mean, they've had to
Yeah.
have an idea of something like that. Although, I mean, a mountain would be an amazing idea of a place to hide something besides the ocean.
Hmm.
I mean, we don't explore inside the mountains very often. It's not like we're tunneling
Mm-mm.
every square inch of every mountain on the face of our
No, not
continents.
at all.
So we
Not at
have
all.
no idea what is out there
Right.
truthfully, unless we do, and it's not being shared publicly, which that's also highly
Which I
probable.
could see it, because if you think about it, yeah, you're allowed to hike and do all this shit all over these mountains, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You can't just, oh, I want to go claim this square mileage and set up a nope, you ain't doing that.
Yep.
Every agency owns, oh, that's a national park. Well, why?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. You want to preserve it and this and that, but what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? And then it's always places like that where there's odd anomalies, Bigfoot or whatever sightings,
Yeah.
weird lights at night, weird noises, and it's like, oh yeah, they're letting you see and experience enough that you know you don't really want to go any deeper.
Yeah, and it's just it's honestly so strange what's happening with all that stuff too. Um I mean, where you live, there are government properties everywhere that you're allowed to take your trail rides on and take your trucks out and rock climb and do all this stuff. Out here on the East Coast, I mean, when this country started expanding, there's not very many trails out here. There's not very many um actual places that I can go and just take my truck out and go have fun with because it's all privately owned. Now, out
Hmm.
there, everywhere, there's hundreds of miles of endless BLM land, and you're just able
Yeah.
to go hunt on it or do whatever the heck it is you want to do. And yet, they're hiding stuff because you're not allowed to go certain areas on those lands. It's almost like,
Hmm.
hey, we know this is here. We don't want you to find out it's here. We don't want the public to know.
Yeah.
So we're just going to say this is all land. You're free to go. Just don't go in this square mile,
Right.
this 30
Yeah.
square kilometers. Stay away from it. But
Yeah.
everywhere else in this hundreds of miles, feel free. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just like back to the Grand Canyon. I mean, these people got arrested for going in the Grand Canyon. They're saying they found Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon. So
Hmm.
it's almost like it was brought here way before we even got to this country back
Yeah. Oh yeah.
way back. So it's crazy.
I like I don't I just there's always that endless question because it's so many different topics, like from UFOs and all that to Egyptian stuff to just like folklore, that it's really like overwhelming. But if you think about it, they all kind of have like a similar attraction. For some reason, millions and millions of people are very attracted to basically all of those topics, and some of them spend their whole lives on it. So how could it be that every single one of them is bullshit? The pyramids was just a big temple for this pharaoh.
Yeah.
The lights you see are satellites or shit your government are testing, not a big deal, don't worry. Like, so every single thing is just exactly what it's supposed to be. I find that really hard to believe, dude.
Yeah, and then where they've always found like the sarcophaguses in Egypt and stuff like that, they've always had very decorative bodies and
Extremely.
like carvings across everything. But inside these the pyramids, there's no tomb. They've never found a body inside the pyramids. And
Hmm.
there's almost no inscriptions or anything inside these pyramids. It's like these were not originally designed for the to be
Yeah, for
buried
right,
in.
right, right.
It's almost like
It
the Egyptian people actually found the pyramids and the Sphinx and literally moved in right next to it because it was already there. It was already this great big
yes.
building. So it's like, well, why not move in? I mean, homeless people do
Hmm.
that all the time. There's a house sitting on the side of the road here, and there's no one living there. No one's lived there for 100 years. So why not just live there? You know,
It's
it
very
gets the rain
possible.
off of you. It very is interesting to think about all that stuff.
Yeah, it is weird how like some areas will be completely carved out and all this beautiful stuff, and then it's just blank, 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 and then all of a sudden there's like, but even like the little archways or rooms or walls that might have it, it's not like a tomb.
Yeah,
So it's almost like you said, well, they came in and they might have added to, or maybe they told a story of something that went on inside. Yeah, it's very interesting. So like, what was going on before them? Like that's what I'm saying. Especially as religious people, you follow the Bible, and that's pretty much how the whole world was created. Well, you think, well, dude, that's only like a few thousand years ago. That's not.
yeah,
Some of this stuff is they're finding 30, 40,000 year old evidence of mankind, obviously before Christ, BC.
yeah,
But it's like, so then what was really all the spiritual, what was all that going on? Or was it a completely different world? And then God won the lottery up there and said, oh, cool, I'll take that rock and I want to make it like this. And then left everything else behind. And we're just trying to,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and then what is it? Texas, Arizona, New Mexico. I can't remember where it is. They found footprints in mud, which is now was it basalt? It's a stone now. It has a human footprint, and then over the human footprint was a dinosaur footprint. So
Jeez.
it had proof of humans and dinosaurs living at the exact same time. And that's like, wait, humans didn't exist back when dinosaurs existed. Well,
Right.
almost all reptiles live or they grow until they die. As long as they're
Hmm.
alive, they're continuously growing. So, what happens if you have something that lives a couple hundred years? You're going to have these giant
Massive.
reptiles everywhere, all over the place. I mean, my brother has a snake that is now, what is she, 13 feet long? And
Hmm.
he's only had her for 6 years. I mean, 6 years ago when he got her, she was only 8, 9 feet long. So the longer you have her, the more nutrients you have in your environment, the longer these reptiles grow. So
Hmm.
it's just insane. I've seen
Yeah.
um, these iguanas, like in Florida. I've gone to Florida and seen these iguanas, and they're falling out of trees and stuff. But the biggest one I've ever seen there was only like from, let's say, to body to the base of the tail. I mean, let's say 20 inches. The tails could be 2 feet long, 3 feet long,
Hmm.
but the bodies, let's say 20 inches, the biggest one I've ever seen. But I had a friend when I went in high was I was when I was in high school. It literally, the body was almost the length of the whole couch. This was a massive iguana, and they said they
Hmm.
had her for 20 years. So these
Yeah.
things, as long as they have a good environment, like I said, and they grow to their environment too, and they have a good, healthy, nutritious um,
Meal and
foods,
all. Yeah.
yeah, every day. I mean,
Right.
they're just going to keep going.
Well, see, isn't that weird then? Like the theory of like lizard people or like this and that. So if they've been around for say millions of years and learn how to do adapt, and since we already know that reptiles can change their color and go camouflage and do fake dead and do so a
Yeah,
million years of evolution, you're going to tell me they can't look exactly like you or me and just blend in? And
yeah,
because you come across people all the time, dude, that are non-responsive. Like, well, I'll walk through a Dollar Tree or something, and like you see somebody that's kind of a little different, whatever. If you say, "Oh, excuse me," or da they're like
in their own
when
world.
when they go to cash out, they don't speak to the cashier. They never speak because maybe if they do, they have lizard tongue or
Yeah,
you don't know.
their eyes
It's weird,
changed.
dude.
They blinked in an opposite direction. Honestly, it's
Yeah,
crazy to even. I mean,
yeah,
who knows? It's possible. Truthfully, who
yeah.
knows? But if you want to follow biblical standards, the Earth is 6,000 years old. I mean, they've proven mathematically, doing scientific studies and stuff, the ocean is getting saltier every year. They would become an equilibrium at one point. And if the Earth was millions of years old, then the ocean wouldn't be getting saltier. It would be impossible to get saltier. It'd have already reached equilibrium. Um, what is it? Radon 14 or whatever they use for scanning bones to see how old the bones are for the dinosaurs and stuff. They're like, well, decays every half life. And well, over time, that would actually disappear in our atmosphere completely. We wouldn't even carbon 14. That's what it is.
Hmm.
Um, it would actually disappear out of our atmosphere over time. So if the planet was billions of years old, or even millions of years old, that wouldn't even exist anymore. It would have pretty much half life down to nothingness. I was watching a video about this mathematician, this really well known scientist. I think he's from Germany, and he was saying something about the Earth can't be older than 60,000 years. And he proved it just with scientific fact after scientific fact. I'm like, this is really crazy. Just you have this scientist proving every single one of these things that it couldn't possibly happen. He's basically saying this planet can't be older than 60,000 years old. It's impossible. But
Hmm.
I'm I
But that does make sense because okay, in a sense, because the is it I get okay, archaeologists, let's say, I think is it they're the standard for the archaeologists is that there was no human what's our word? What are we? We're not carnivores, we're
y- y-
herbivores or whatever we are.
we're omnivores, but we're
Yeah.
uh, I know what you're meaning, but yeah,
Basically, so humans of whatever the very first time before 13,000 years. So you got to think that leaves a lot of money on the table that supposedly went on before us. But it's crazy to think that means dinosaurs had to have been within 60,000, not 350 million years.
yeah.
And who the fuck came up with that theory? And how come I was learning that at 3 and 4 and 5 years old? Oh, they're 65 million years old. How do you know that?
Well, they go off the stratus layers of the Earth. So, okay, each layer of, uh, I mean, you go to Arizona. You've seen when you're driving up some of those mountains, you see like 60 different colors in the side of the mountain. Each one's a strata
Yeah.
layer. So they're like, okay, that's top strata layer. That just happened. We're a part of that top strata layer, and then the one underneath it that had to be 10,000 years ago. So they're just estimating all these estimates
Like
on
tree
all of it.
rings.
Basically, that's exactly how they get their estimates from. Well, they're
Hmm.
showing there's videos of trees going straight up and down, actually upside down, roots up through 8 to 10 layers of strata. Trees can't grow through strata like that. We're talking 100, 200 feet below the surface. You're seeing trees growing upside down, growing through different layers of strata. And what's even crazier is some of them are half petrified. Half of them, or the half are petrified, and then the other half will be starting to charcoalified, starting to turn to charcoal. And you'll actually see that in one tree going through these multiple layers of strata. And you're like, you're trying to tell me that tree aged over 1 million years, 100 million years, and it grew upside down, facing through multiple layers of these 10 million years of soil samples here, and half of it's petrified wood, and the other half is turned into charcoal, or not charcoal, coal, turning to coal.
Hmm.
It to me it doesn't make sense. It sounds like they're hiding stuff, but that's it's just crazy when you seek so many details and you're just trying to make sense of what's actually happening. That it doesn't make sense.
Well, it's interesting too that you say that because I just watched a documentary. I've been watching this new podcast slash docu. He interviews a lot of people. It's called Soft White Underbelly, And I
Okay.
mean, he interviews crackheads, strippers, ex prostitutes, gang members, mobsters, bookies, you name it. If it's a person that's out there, he interviews them. Well, two different stories that I watched recently that I have notes on here. One of them was this flat earther dude, right?
Yeah.
Well, the part that caught my attention was when the host, who obviously doesn't really believe that the earth is flat, asks him, well, what are some of your main things that really make you believe that the earth is flat? And he goes, well, I'm going to tell you right now, here's a couple. He says, your eye always meets the horizon. Doesn't matter how high you go, your eye will always meet the horizon. He goes, the second problem that you have is they claim the curvature of the earth, right?
Yeah.
So I forget what it's like every 6 miles it curves X amount of inches or whatever, feet or
Yeah. It's
whatever
like
it is.
every 6 miles you'll see 3 inches of drop or something like that.
Yes. So he's saying, he goes, so secondly, it does not matter what you do to water, it's always self-leveling, no
Yep.
matter what. It'll self-level. He goes,
In
so
every container you
now
put it in, it'll always self level.
no matter what, he goes, any lake you go to, if he goes, I'm not talking wind and choppy, I'm talking about the water is level. He said, so think about it like this. If we're on a globe and even though there's gravity, whatever, right? He says, you mean to tell me that if I look across 200 miles of just open ocean, that water, if water is always level, is not going to run to the lowest point? He goes, gravity isn't strong enough to hold things in place, or trees wouldn't move the way they do because of the downforce. If it was so strong, then waves wouldn't be able to manipulate water on the surface that easily because of the force of this gravity.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, so then he goes, I'm in Hawaii, and he goes, I'm on this island and I'm looking to the farthest point from this island across to the other island. I'm on the beach. He goes, I can clearly see the whole island. He goes, the water's a little sheen rough. He goes, I go up on this hill behind me a little higher. I can see the beach. He goes, but wait a minute, the curvature of the earth in science is telling me that there's no human possible way that if I've only gone up 25 feet that I can see 5-10 miles away a shoreline, because they should already be down the fucking hill.
Yeah.
He's like, it's all bullshit. You go up in airplanes, hot air balloons, does not matter. He goes, you get the fisheye effect where it kind of looks like a dome,
Yeah. It
but
starts
it's
to bubble
because
it.
your eyes are kind of reaching limitation. He goes, but the third and final fact that I'm going to tell you, and this is the one that kind of got me. He goes, this earth has been hit by asteroids, meteors, whatever, all the time, still happens over the years. He goes, every single one that has ever hit leaves a perfectly round circle, which means it's hitting a flat plane. Because if we were a dome, as these things hit, you would have long valleys and long scars and gouges, because it would be just striking, say, the side of a ball
Yeah.
or whatever. These things come in massive and fast. He goes, they're always all a straight
Perfect round.
fucking perfectly round.
Yeah.
He goes, so you're going to tell me that the only time I can see a full moon is when I can't is when the sun is all the way on the other side of the earth and I can see zero light, but there's the full moon. But then in the daytime, there's the moon and the sun. He's
And
like,
it's
that
not
makes
full.
no sense. And then it's not full.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? And like, he's just tripping out. So the host, like, kind of by the end was like, well, you have some really, really good points that, like, obviously I'm sure science could easily explain. He goes, I don't know how to explain against it. But I was just like, you know what, dude? It kind of opens your eye. And he explained how there's still a North Pole and that there's a magnetic force in the North Pole. Nobody talks about the South Pole. No one cares about the South Pole. The North Pole. And he goes, so everything's kind of like the earth is flat and still rotates.
Yeah.
So you're still catching the furthest point. And he explained that how the sun travels. I wish, again, you'll have to go watch that one. But yeah, dude, it kind of actually had me. I mean, I'm not a flat earther or this and that, but like even the recent NASA photos are such a crock of shit.
Oh,
Like
totally.
if I'm on Earth right now and I go out back and I have a telescope right here, I could go out back and I could zoom in and I could hook my iPhone to it and take pictures and blah 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 and come in and upload them and show you. It is what it is what you see. How the fuck are they going to say, "Oh, the first photo with an Android and it's like half of a lady's cheek, some bullshit Disneyland submarine window and then a part of this massive round earth thing," and I'm like, this is fucking crazy,
I mean,
dude.
that's a typical woman for you right there. Have to do the selfie thing.
You
Always have
had
to.
to do
That's
the
the first
selfie.
one,
Look at
right?
me.
Yeah, but
Yep.
honestly,
Always.
they looked so doctored to me, especially when you look at the cloud formations. They're like, "Oh, it's 12 hours difference," but the cloud formations on the globe is the exact same cloud formations. And tell me that's not BS,
Dude,
man. That
and you're that's tough.
So back to that
And
flat earther guy though, man. I
yeah,
I
so what do you
watched
think about that?
I watched another video about the guy talking about Venus and Mercury, which are closer to our sun than we are, right? If
Yep.
you're going to go by, okay, we got 8 planets because they don't consider Pluto anymore. Screw them. I like Pluto. I
Yeah, that
mean,
was a good one.
whether you call it a planet, dwarf planet, whatever, it's still, I'm always going to call it our 9 planets here. But
Yeah,
how
why you
the
gotta be mean to
hell? Yeah, I got some midget chick out here. I'm not going to be mean to her because she's some midget. No, I'm going to say she's
hell
still
no.
a human because she's got the human features at least. She might
Matter
be,
of fact, get her in here first.
yeah. I mean, just saying. But you got
Right.
Mercury and Venus that are closer to the sun. How the hell can we use a telescope to look up in the night sky, which is facing away from the sun, and see those two planets? We
I
shouldn't be able to see them at all because they should always be on the sunny side of the earth. The only way to
mhm.
see them is to look at them through the daylight sky. We should never be able to see Mercury or Venus. How the hell are we seeing them? And once I heard that, I'm like, that's effing true. We should never be able to
Yes.
see them because Venus is something like, I don't even remember, something million miles away from us, like millions of miles away from us, closer to the sun. We
Mhm.
shouldn't be able to see it if it's closer to the sun than we are. So it made me think. It was like, really, that's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Well, he also said another interesting thing was that if even if you look back like in like what would it be? I guess like Mayans and that type of era, the sun and moon was like hot, cold,
Yeah,
um anger, calm, this that like they had their reasoning behind it. Well, he said he actually got into some of the science. He goes, "Let me tell you something. The moon projects its own light. It has nothing to do with the sun.
yeah,
The reason that is he goes, I'm going to tell you exactly why. The moon is cold. He goes, the moon actually lets off cool. He goes, did you know that there's night shadows? And he goes, I can prove it to you. He goes, if you park your car half under a tree at night when you know it's going to frost overnight, it'll only frost whatever wasn't underneath the shadow of the tree. Or say a carport. You stick your car half out, the front half will be completely frosted and the back won't because there's a shadow, a moon shadow.
yeah,
And he said also, you put food out in the sun, it's going to get hot and it's going to dehydrate and get
yeah.
hard. You
Well,
leave it out at night, it molds instantly.
and rots.
It's and rots because the moon is projecting its own type of light. And I was like, now that's pretty interesting, dude.
Just so you know, that's all 100% fact. That's all things I've done personally. I even have a temperature gun. I've checked it after I've watched that video and read about it. Um, where you're going out in a, let's say, full moon is directly above your head, and you can measure the grass or a piece of metal that's in the direct moonlight. It's about 3 degrees colder than the shadow of the tree. That
Yes.
because
Yes.
under a full moon,
Yes.
you still see everything. There's shadows everywhere. I've even
Right.
driven with all my lights off because these moons are so bright. But it's like the car, I'm driving and I see stuff, but okay, you don't think about it. You're just like, okay, it's just moonlight. But when you're out and you're actually testing it, just because that guy said it, I'm like, let me try it myself. The
Hmm.
moonlight really is cold versus,
Yes.
again, like I said, the shadow of the moon, or the shaded area that the moonlight's not hitting, is about 3 degrees warmer than the direct moonlight. And just like the food rotting, I've put grapes outside in the sun, they turn to raisins, they dry up, just like
Hmm.
tomatoes. You put them out there, you have sun dried tomatoes. People do this. They also bring them in, or they cover them at night because they've known this for decades, hundreds of years. Look at the Italians. They've always sun
Hmm.
dried their tomatoes and they cover them at night most of the time. But what happens
Yeah,
if you put
and
that fresh
it's
fruit out there at night? It rots, it molds overnight, literally overnight. Otherwise, it'd be fine for 3, 4 days, but in direct moonlight is done.
exactly, dude. A perfect example. I put a couple bananas in the freezer today because I thought, oh, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze them and then just cut them up later. That'll be good, right? Isn't it interesting how fast they turn brown?
Yeah,
An hour and a half, or as
almost
soon as they're
black.
frozen,
Yeah,
they turn and like that. So that's just an extreme version of basically the night or the moonlight. Because I was looking at that and I was thinking, well, wait a minute. If the sun's reflecting off of it and that's giving it the light, then if anything, wouldn't it be warmer than in say a shadow
yeah,
because it's a moon reflection? And so how are you going to convert all of that energy, reflect it that far away back down to us, and now it's going to project colder, but wait, heat rises? Like, what are they doing, dude? They're
yeah.
feeding us just a giant pile of shit.
Side note, man, take those frozen bananas, you peel them with just a
Ooh.
vegetable peeler and throw them in a blender with some protein powder. An effing
Ooh.
amazing protein shake. Effing
I need
amazing.
that.
Just a pinch of peanut butter helps too. But
Yeah, I might have that tonight.
dude, it's fire. Uh I tell you
Yeah.
what, it's amazing. But back to the all of that though, it's like
Yeah.
sunlight is life, it's energy. It makes our trees bloom, it blossoms. Um you they just proved that trees breathe. They've gone down to the cell and you can see the cells of every single plant. Take this, vegans. Every single plant breathes.
Uh-huh.
It has a heartbeat. Every single cell of every plant, every tree, every vegetable in the garden, it's breathing. But a lot of these flowers and plants, what happens at nighttime? What do? They close up. They
Yes, they
hide their
do.
fruit, their flowers will close, and then as soon as the sun comes back up, they reopen to take all that
And
energy in from the
imagine,
sun.
isn't that funny? They know by closing up will shadow this inner deal, which will actually keep it warmer than if it stayed open because the moonlight's going to freeze it. It's not because the air gets colder, it's because the moonlight. And the only reason it gets colder at night is because of the moon.
Have you ever noticed on nights that there is no moon out, it's also warmer and
Always,
usually
especially in
more
the
humid
summer.
too? Oh yeah,
Hmm.
always. But it's crazy. I mean, if you want to think of it this way, the flower, the center of the flower, that's kind of its genitals. And a lot of
Yeah.
flowers, they close up and hide that because you want to keep I think it's called the proboscis. I can't remember scientific words at the
Yeah.
moment, but they need to keep those rejuvenated at all times. But in the sun, it opens up so those insects, birds, whatever, can repollinate from flower to flower and make fruit, vegetables, what have you, nuts. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
So all these things are happening all the time. I got moths in here, but
That's hilarious.
all these things are happening all the time. It's like really
Yeah.
it makes you think, yeah, the moonlight is definitely colder, and even life on this earth knows it because it's closing up at night. It's like, oh heck no, I don't want to freeze my ass off, literally. So
Yeah.
it's closing up. Even um, I'm trying to remember what animal. There are certain animals that don't go out during a full moon. I mean, yes,
Oh.
the science tries to say, oh, okay, because they're highly visible and predators can track them down. But is that really the case? I mean, is it also because they don't like the full moon? I mean, half moon, it's
Right.
still bright enough. You can still forage and pillage and
That's,
get all your stuff, but a full
yeah.
moon, these animals won't come out during. So it's very interesting to think about all that.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna run and take a quick piss. So you tell the viewers about your hard-boiled eggs.
Bro, you go take
Oh,
that
are you gonna?
go
All right,
take
I'll be
that
right
piss,
back.
man. So guys, I don't know if you've ever tried this. I hit up Tim what was it, 2 days ago now, and he just was like, "Yeah, man, it's like a Asian delicacy. They have hard boiled eggs. They'll deep fry them in like tempura, and then just they'll put them out there on the sushi platter with you." And I was like, "You know what? That sounds good. I make about I don't know 24 boiled eggs a week, roughly, sometimes 30, and then." I deep fried them in coconut oil. I tell you what, they were so damn good. Just a whole hard boiled egg. You throw it in the oil at high temperature, and it leaves almost like a slight leathery skin on the outside of the egg, but the inside's almost like a creamy flavor. So it's so good. Care. Uh, uh, it honestly is pretty cool. It's definitely something to try at least once. Definitely suggest putting like a tempura batter or panko batter flakes on the outside before frying it because it that crispiness just sets it off. I had set them up and kind of doctored them up to make them really good, but I had some fresh jalapenos on it, made them real crunchy. That's honestly the way to go. I'll tell you what, they're if you haven't had them, again, you got to try them. Uh, Here, let me actually pull up a picture. I send it to Tim here 2 nights ago because that's what I made for dinner. I'm like, bro, have you tried it? And he said, heck yeah. So I had to try it. But I tell you what, there's some crazy stuff we're going to be talking about in the future, guys. Just keep keep on watching. We're going to try and do these at least once a week, and then if you have any topics that you want us to talk about, put it in the comment section, guys. Maybe we'll bring it up sometime, and we'll definitely have something to go over. But yeah, it was good. And here's what they looked like. Holy cow. They don't look so great on this screen, but I tell you what, the flavor was fantastic. You got to try it sometime.
That looks really good, dude.
You missed out, man. I was telling them all about it.
Man, I want to try that.
You had the ones at the Asian store, or the sushi restaurant, so you can't tell me those aren't better.
Okay, so the one at the sushi restaurant, we ordered it and we're like, cool. We're thinking it was going to be like something really wild. The tempura on the outside was good, but as soon as you cut it and you ate it, it was like it was a hard boiled egg.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I wish they would have done is they would have cut it and then they would have made like deviled egg, like Asian style, and then restuffed them and served them like that, and they'd sell twice as many.
Dude,
But
so fried double deviled eggs is huge on the South. And we're technically in the South where I live.
oh,
So
yeah, yeah, I
fried
would say
double
you're.
eggs is real. So they kind of deep fry the egg just like normal, but
Okay,
then they take all the yolks out and then they kind of fry the yolk separately and then turn it
yeah.
into the deviled egg part and then they just deliciify it.
Hey, I'm sorry, but there's nothing better than biscuits, gravy, and the like runny eggs and hash brown. Oh yeah, look at that!
Dude, the freaking
Look at that!
the crunch of the jalapeno on these that's what sold it,
Oh
man, because I
yeah,
didn't
and
have the
then
tempura batter,
shit.
so it pissed me off. But I
I
didn't think
know.
about it. When I asked you, you just said, "Yeah, I've had them." So I'm like, "Shit, I'll give it a try."
The thing about it, what's crazy blew my mind is when you asked, we just had it maybe what do we're on the like the 22nd, like maybe the
Yeah.
first week of April. So 2, 3 weeks. Yeah. And so it's funny when you asked me, I'm like, what? I have never heard of it, and now I'm getting asked about it. So that
Honestly,
kind of
though,
tripped me out.
I make eggs like I was telling them. I make about 24 to 30 hard-boiled eggs every week. Every
Yeah,
effing week. I go through eggs. I go through a 60 pack every 2 weeks roughly.
that's awesome.
It's $8 for 60 eggs out here right now, so might as well do
And
it.
it's dude, it's literally like the best thing you can eat. I asked
Yeah.
Chat or Grunk or Gronk, what's his name? Gronk?
Grok. ChatGPT,
Grok. Hey
Grok,
dude.
all of them. It's damn high
Yeah.
protein,
They
really healthy. It's pretty
Yeah.
decent on cholesterol too. It's good, but I just never
Yeah.
thought about frying it. When I use coconut oil for everything. I don't like seed oils.
Yeah.
I've read too much about the toxicity about them. And honestly, I don't like the flavor. I got a big ass tongue and I got all these taste buds. I know what I like on flavor. And it's like olive oil or coconut oil or avocado oil. I'm like, well, I don't have either of that. I already had the coconut oil because I just did deep fried uh, chicken, popcorn chicken. It was freaking good. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I got 24 eggs. Let's cook them. So that's what I did
That's
there.
pretty cool. Yeah, you got to try it. I mean,
At least
dude.
once. And honestly, I'll do it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
But like I said,
Yeah.
definitely needs like either a panko crust on the outside or a tempura batter on the outside first before deep fried. You got to have that crispiness to to really make it, because that slightly leathery skin it peels on it. It's good, but it almost tastes like chicharrones at that point. So it's like,
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know, it kind of almost has like that eel kind of,
yeah, yeah,
eel
yeah.
has a little bit of a bite to almost
That
like a
grilled eel.
mushroom, but like a mushroom that has a little bit of a pull to it. Like it could have been cooked longer or less. I'm not sure, depending on how you like your mushrooms. So I'm
I like
checking
them
that
in my
flat
mouth.
earther. Okay, and especially the portobello.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Just fill that with some meat. That's damn. That's perfect.
Dude, oh man, I'm getting
Sorry,
all
I'm making
hungry.
you
All right,
hungry,
guys,
man.
we got to go, and we're out of here. No, but yeah, I was watching that guy about the flat Earth, and I'm like, okay, so I thought that dude only kind of interviewed like criminals and this and that. Well, he interviewed this guy, and I got a story for you, dude. And I have his name here, and again, it's Soft White Underbelly is the name of the podcast that I seen it on, so you guys can fact check this because this story's a little wild.
Soft white underbelly. I'm gonna type that
Yeah,
in.
yeah, check it out. See if it comes up. It should. I have it right here too. Let me pull up my. Um, but anyway,
Soft
yeah.
white
So I'm.
underbelly podcast. Yeah, they're on X.
Yeah, there it is, right
I'll
there.
go ahead and
Yep,
follow them.
that's. Yep. Yeah, you'll like it.
Dude, that's some crazy stories. It's almost like the Y Files, man. I like the Y Files. Sorry, not to
Oh
interrupt
yeah,
your
it's
story,
it.
dude.
No, that's a
Hecklefish is
good.
the best.
He's great,
One of these days,
and you
we'll
know
have our own
what?
Hecklefish over here, or Kermit the Frog, or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Uh
I
huh.
don't know
We
what
we
the hell.
should. We got to have a character drop in.
Yeah, it'll be like my AR-22 rifle just sitting here talking to us off the screen or something like that. Is there bad
With
guys? You always shoot the bad guys,
the scope has one eye, just
guys.
like
Yeah.
exactly. No, dude, but yeah. So check out this dude's stuff because he does some good interviews. Like, there's this lady right now. Side note, she's like, I moved out to California. I knew I needed to make money. She's like, I went through a divorce, and she's like, there's lots of rich dudes, and she's like, I basically just started selling my pussy for money. She's like, it's an arranged date. They're treat me well, this and that, and I'm making hundreds. And I just like, it blew my mind that like people would just go onto this podcast and just let it fly. Well, that's why he has over 6 million followers and viewers. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So I'm scanning through, and I'm like, what else does this guy have? And I'm like, well, I'm kind of into the alien topic, Bigfoot, anything like that's cool. And dude, this guy right here, I've got a story for you, buddy.
Yay.
This guy right here, Julius Shields. All right, so you'll find him on there.
Is that a
And
dude?
yeah, it's a dude. And one
Okay.
weird thing about this video is it only was 15 minutes, which tells me I think the host was kind of like,
Get me the hell out.
all right. Like I've heard, and this guy has heard, like he's listened to people that have been raped, and like I mean, I'm sorry if
Mafia
that's.
people and all this stuff.
I
Yeah.
mean, so and he sits there. I mean, these episodes are 2 hours. Some of them are longer, and I'm like, all right, let's see what this 15-minute video about this Julius Shields is about. So he's in Kansas City, Missouri, about 11 years ago. So he's probably in his mid 20s, right in there. From what I could gather, he didn't say his age. And when I first heard it, I'm thinking this dude lives in a rural area of Kansas City, Missouri, right? Like you're thinking, okay, aliens, he must be in like the forest or some shit.
Yeah.
He explains it, dude, later on in the episode that he basically lives like in a neighborhood where like it's a little spaced out, but like it's basically like a neighborhood. Like there's people around and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? So first of all, I'm like, all right, is this dude on crack or whatever? So, anyways, he goes, the first contact, he said it was weird because he woke up in the morning. He was down in the basement. He went to his window in his basement. So I guess he's in the basement, but there's like a window with like an overhang, and then there's like outside. So I was trying to picture it in my head, right? Because later he talks about moving to upstairs and out of the basement. So he says, yeah, I woke up, I went to the window, and I said, oh, what a good day. And he goes, and I never do that. He's like, to be honest, I'm kind of like just like a fucking normal dude. I wake up like, fuck, what's today going to be? He goes, so then I sit down on my bed, I get on my phone, I call my girlfriend, we're just talking. And he goes, and I'm like kind of just looking, glancing towards the window. And he goes, what looked like kind of like just like a balloon or something going around. Like he just saw like this white kind of like whatever deal. He's like, all right, whatever. And talking, he goes, and then all of a sudden his dog starts barking like at the direction of where that is. So he's like on the phone, like, what the fuck? Hold on. He goes over to the window and he's looking and he's like, that's when he realized it was just like a like not a balloon, but not like anything he'd ever kind of seen before, right? And then it kind of just whatever went away. So he's there, he's on the phone, and then he hears like on the window. And he says, dude, and like in the interview, you could tell he's kind of getting a little like shaky. So he's either a really good actor or some trauma went on and he's using this story as what really went on. Like, who knows? But you could tell he's going through it. And I'm like, all right, fuck. He goes, dude, this was the first time in my life that I had seen something that was not human. And he's like, it was like a body shaped like this, not real big, had the black eyes, and it was tapping on the window, and it had three, he says tentacles, but I think he means like fingers or
Yeah.
he says tentacles. So I'm like, okay.
Well, they
And
always
I'm like,
said
fuck, right?
octopus is alien, so I mean tentacles make
It,
sense.
it could be. So he says, dude, I fucking like, bam, he's off the phone. He gets in he goes, I was out of my place faster than you would even imagine. I jump in my truck and I take off to my buddy's house and I tell him exactly what's going on. He says, I stay there. We go to bed. That's it. He goes, the next day, let's see, I have it here. I don't want to miss it. Oh, yeah. The next day, he says, it's nighttime now. So mind you, that happened in the morning, dude. So he's saying he lives in a neighborhood, but so it must be like he's in the basement, but there must be like a carve out or something where he could like go out on like a patio, something, right?
Yeah.
Because
They
why
usually
would you
have
have a
like an awning or
window?
something above the window because
Okay,
usually basements depends at where you're at, especially areas that are wet. They'll have that
right.
opening in the substructure, the basement, and then above that there's like
That's
a metal awning or something above it, and then some of them have a
that's exactly what he said. He
like
had an awning over.
yeah, and then some of them they call a sun side or a sunroom side where it opens into level ground and it'll have almost a full structure above it. So the person above you basically has a uh, patio or something they could walk out
Okay,
on. It just depends on where he lives or what kind
so
of
he could have
area.
just said basement in meaning the lower
Yeah,
whatever, huh?
those are usually
Because
a basement underground because the windows are usually up high on the wall. So usually your typical windows with 30 inches off the ground, and then basements usually are closer to the ceiling. So
see, you're right, and that would make sense why he was just kind of looking and seeing
looking up,
what
yeah,
is that. Well, he says then he goes to his buddies. He wakes up. He goes home the next day, whatever, not working or whatever for whatever. Or no, it was nighttime. The next day at night, it's raining. He goes, dude, and I've lived here. I know the rain. The rain does not hit my windows because I have a big awning over it. It can't hit it.
yeah,
He goes, it might get condensation or whatever, but not enough to where you can hear the rain hitting it. He said he started hearing tapping like a bunch of taps, like basically like, hey, we're out here, like their way of communicating. He's making it kind of think like they want to talk to him, but they don't really know, like, hey, dude, can you talk to you for a minute? It's kind of like, what do we know that humans know? Oh, make a noise.
Yeah. Or
That's how he felt. It wasn't like he was threatened, but it scared him. So boom, he fucking left again. He's like,
yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah, it's not like we're reaching
So
out to your over your car's extended warranty or something. It's literally
exactly.
shit's happening. Hey, bud, we're over here. Knock, knock, knock. So that makes
Yeah.
sense. I mean, animals do that all the dang
It-
time. So it's like
right.
the deer that just got stuck in the lake recently. It was making noise, and it literally made a police officer follow him so it can get its baby out of the lake. So these
Wow.
animals do that. That's normal. They understand humans interact with noise. So if it's a creature, it could be it the clown,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
transforms and has tentacles and has a balloon too. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, so then he takes off, right? Raining, whatever. He goes, fuck, I'm out of here. He leaves, goes to his buddy's house again. His buddy's like, all right, dude, whatever. Crash out here, doesn't matter. He says, I never did hard drugs, whatever, smoked weed. Okay. He goes, but I was so experienced with that like people that tried to say I was schizophrenic, it's like, okay, you're telling me I turned schizophrenic for X amount of time in my life, and then all of a sudden I'm not schizophrenic no more. He goes, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. So then he says he comes back, dude. Third night, softball size orb of light in the room. Boom. What the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh shit. Well, by this point, he goes, what was weird about it is I had moved from the downstairs basement upstairs to a room on the right side. And then that's when he said it all happened. He saw the orb. He said that night he went to bed, and that's when the abduction started. Well, later come to find out what it was that they were trying to get a hold of him, basically why he was conscious and like aware,
Yeah.
couldn't do it. Well, they had a mission, and they were going to say, all right, we'll get him when he goes to sleep, basically, more or less. So he
Yeah.
said he would feel like he was in like a sedated dream state. And he said the first night it happened, dude, he was abducted or whatever. Boom, he's literally in this like arena, like a gladiator arena. And he goes, dude, it was so real. Like, and at this point, you could tell he's like getting kind of worked up. He's like, it was so real. And I'm looking around, and he goes, everything in the audience is like goons, goblins, lizard people, alien, like anything you could think of was all like wrapped into the audience. And he goes, and out of nowhere, this green blob just comes down in front of me,
Hmm.
and a weapon, he said, a fucking like a knife, like a dagger, spawns in his hand. He goes, literally like a video game. And he goes, and the first reaction I had was boom. And I stabbed the green blob. It fucking whatever goes down. He goes, and the crowd went wild. And I had the internal emotional feeling of like, I just won. I did this battle. And he goes, it was the weirdest thing, dude. And then like I woke up, and it was like, what the fuck? Like that was real. He goes, well, then that's when everything changed. And this is where in the part of the story where I kind of got a little like, whoa, this dude's kind of like, if this is a bullshit story, dude, or whatever, he's kind of out there. So he says, it really got crazy for me. He said for 1 week, every single night he would be taken he would be taken to have sex with different types of creatures. He goes, but it was weird because there was even like women looking creatures, but like every other type of creature. And he goes, it was so weird. But he goes, like we would have sex all the way to the point, orgasm the whole bit, wake up, nothing in his shorts, nothing like obviously happened, whatever, but it like it had happened. Like he knew it had happened to where some nights he would wake up and he was wet but had no semen. And he said the thing with that was is that they were utilizing him, seeing what he could do for battle. What can this guy do for this? And he says the part that really threw me is that he hopes one day that he can connect with his children. So in his eyes, he has had sex with these people and he's going to have children with one of these.
Alien races or creature
And
races.
he goes, you got to understand, it's like this is one of the biggest things for what's it called, like what are we, our evolution,
Yeah.
our he goes, because you got to understand, like that could be a why. He goes, you think I'm the only one with abduction stories? He says, I with the help of my girlfriend located one of my uncles that I hadn't talked to in 20 years or whatever it was. I started telling him these stories and he froze up, dude. He said his uncle did not know what to say and told him, I was going through the exact same thing 10 years ago at the same time, very similar, but that he said his dreams were more vivid, that like they gave him the opportunity. What do you want to envision to have sex with? Because all they, so let's say they could clone, and that his thing was anime girls. It was like a weird thing. That part of the documentary, I'm telling you, was all this happened in 16 minutes. I was like, whoa, this is like really out there. But I was like, all right, so that means this. Oh, and he later says that he found out that they were grays. He did the research and found out they were gray aliens. Everything I've learned, dude, there's so many cases like mine. He says that my uncle's case, they basically knew what they wanted from him, so they gave him the free mental. You could fuck whatever you want, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So his thing was like, oh, these anime girls or whatever. So that he kind of laughed about it, and then that's when the host straight up's like, were drugs ever a part of like your past or whatever? Was there any traumas, this and that? And he's like, well, no. He's like, well, I was pretty heavy into marijuana, but he's like, I still smoke marijuana. He's like, and that's when they tried to tell me I was a schizophrenic. And, but like, I was just thinking about, I was like, I mean, you're not gonna. This guy's channel's not gonna get you any major fame. I mean, if anything, you're gonna have
Yeah.
some guy like me that might bring it up because we're talking about aliens and look at this abduction story, and probably most of our viewers haven't heard that one, and they can go fact check it and watch it. But
Yeah, he's
what do you
kind of
think,
buried,
dude?
honestly. I've never heard of him whatsoever. Yeah, 6.89 million subscribers on YouTube. I mean, he's only has under 4,000 3,100 subscribers on X. So
Mm-hmm.
it, it's not like you're making these stories up to get famous. So to me it's very interesting. I know I've had realistic dreams.
Oh,
I
100%.
know I've had dreams that I've seen the future when I was a child and stuff, but nothing since I was like 16. I mean, I saw
Right.
the World Trade Center attack 2 weeks before it happened in dreams, but these
Yeah.
things where these people are being abducted and stuff, any of that stuff's possible from my understanding. I mean, whether it's aliens, demons, whatever the hell it may be, everybody has
Right.
their own idea of what it could be. So it's like, what the hell is it? But
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
so
Hmm.
for the ball of light, have you ever looked up lightning orbs or blue lightning orbs? It's this bright ass white or blue lightning. They say it's lightning, but it's a ball of light. And it'll either
Yeah.
sit still in one spot or it travels real slow through air. It'll just almost like a balloon. And
Okay.
as you were saying, he had this ball of light in his room. That's almost what it popped into my head was something like that.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
I don't know if he's not on drugs. Like there's all kinds of mushrooms that you could have that cause severe
And
hallucinations.
see,
But
that's where, that's kind of where he was like, it's, and like some of these people that are DMT experts now, or well, whatever. I mean, career DMT, they do the ayahuascas and peyotes and shrooms. They'll tell you about stories while they're on it, but
yeah,
like this dude's basically like, hey, so like a side note to that, there's another abduction story. I won't go into the whole thing because I want to save it for another time. But basically, he was a logger, and this he was out. They were leaving with his buddies, and this light came down, and basically, like a UFO came down in the forest. So they like stop and like, what the hell is this? And he jumps out and goes towards it. And I don't know. All this action goes off. Long story short, he's gone,
Yeah.
like full missing person search, whatever. Well, what happens to be like 2 weeks later in real life, this dude comes back to Earth, which feels like an hour later.
Yeah.
So this whole story, we'll get into it. So it's like there's abduction story, and this guy was young, making money, logger, not a drug addict, wasn't on peyote. Like these are real, like, and doesn't you don't get money or fame from telling these stories. So why would you go through the trouble to lie? I mean, you get a little recognition,
Yeah.
but is it enough to be like, oh, dude, I gave everybody that? No,
And it's
dude, like,
usually the people that have those crazy hairs that's all sticking out like that and stuff. They're the ones that really are going to be all into your story and be diving into it. But have you,
the guy on Ancient Aliens.
yeah, have you seen the theory of the closer you move to the speed of light, the faster time moves around you, or technically
Yeah,
time's
quantum physics.
yeah, time basically stands still for you when you're moving at the speed of light, but everybody else time accelerates. So if he's saying he's gone for an hour in his time, but it's 2 weeks for Earth time, I mean, theoretically, they should be able to map out how far he went if they're going at the speed of light or faster. So
But see, what's crazy is these things can supposedly go from like 0 to like 20 trillion gone.
instantly, yeah, almost
So,
teleportation speed. But
and within the craft, there's no G force.
yeah, I mean, we're already
So,
working on that technology anyway. But also, when you're in a non-gravitational environment, there shouldn't be G-force either, because the G literally is gravitational density.
right.
So at 9 Gs, you're basically 9 times heavier than what you are at basic atmospheric density. So the craziness, if you have these buffers or whatever, or you're in space, going 30,000 miles an hour is nothing. You don't feel it. You don't. It's like
You're
drive.
just like, it's like being underwater hauling ass in a submarine. If you're just hanging out, you won't even know
Yeah,
you're
you,
it.
you don't notice anything. Yeah. So if this guy
Huh.
truly was abducted and was gone an hour, and he went so far away and then came back, they just showed him around and stuff, and it was 2 weeks on Earth time, theoretically, I mean, they should be able to map where he went if a scientist ever really wanted to dive into his story or his claims. But
Well,
it's just crazy. I mean,
dude, shit. Yeah,
these stories I've seen are absolutely insane of different abductions and stuff like that. But
I agree.
it's very it could be truthful, but I mean everybody lies at one point in their life at least once. So,
Yeah. I've heard countless reports too. I watch a lot of these. I love the History Channel. I'll be honest, and I watch their YouTube because
no.
they just cover a lot of different
Everything.
stories, and they have random people on to give their testimony. And one of the rabbit holes I went down was like how we have FBI and like even CIA and stuff like that. There's like literally the Men in Black, and it's basically been around since like the Roswell 50s era.
Yeah.
And these people literally do, like, this happened in 2018. This lady lives up in an area that's very heavily forested, somewhere in Canada or whatever it is, somewhere like that, right? And she says, our town was very just everyone knows everybody, kind of like, your typical story. And she goes, and then one day a construction company came in and they wanted to put in like a 5G tower or whatever. So they did the first major development in this little area in a really long time. They fence this area off, they erect this tower, they do this and that. Okay, great. And she's like, it was weird though, because ever since they did it, it's like the area just felt different. Well, then one day she says, I'm coming home. I pull into my driveway. I had went to pick up groceries. It was later than it normally was for me because I realized like, oh wow, I can really see that tower thing buzzing as she was driving in. She gets out of her car and she goes, all of a sudden, it was daytime. And she goes, I looked up and I dropped my groceries and I swear to you on I everything I look up and there's this craft and she goes, this thing was fucking enormous and it was shining right down on me because the tower is like, an acre, 2 acres away. So she's right there. So what are they doing with that? What is that? Boom, right? And she goes, holy shit. She kind of freaks out. She goes inside the house, calls the local whatever, hey, I just seen this and then okay, whatever. And she goes, it wasn't even 2 hours later. And mind you, we are in an area where you're not going to just land if you landed a helicopter, everybody would be like, who's that?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, no, a car pulls into my driveway, knocks on my door.
FBI will open up.
Nope, goes to the door. She says it was two guys dressed in black suits. And she goes, I'm like kind of freaked out. She goes, I'm thinking it's something to do with the tower. They're coming to tell me, hey, there's a radioactive spill. She goes, I don't know. I didn't know. I don't follow that shit. And they're like, yeah, man, we're just here to question what you seen tonight. And she goes, what do you mean what I seen? And they're like, yeah, da, da. So they already knew the whole story. They knew what was over her the whole bit. And they wanted, so she said that something told her to just play dumb. Oh, yeah, the authorities told me something about testing a helicopter or something in the area. So I called to clarify, and they said it was nothing to be. And I mean, she said they continued to interrogate me and say, we know that you have a daughter in, Mississippi, and that like they knew everything about me, like basically threatening me without threatening me to not tell my story ever,
Yeah.
you know. And she kind of did this like behind closed. You couldn't see her face or nothing, and like an older lady, dude, like that. Like, okay, maybe you wanted to like go down as a lady who had that crazy story, but it just doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
bro.
My
Lived a normal life, husband passed away, like I don't know, just
the
the fuck.
craziest thing about those things, man, I'm pretty sure there is a Men in Black. I'm almost positive of
Has
it
to be, dude.
because there are way too many lettered organizations in America that either hide, cover up, or lie to the public. That's pretty much their job. And truthfully, if the Men in Black, and I'm pretty sure they see every website video and every phone call, they hear them all. So if this lady, even if she's got her face covered, and they even hear an idea of that stuff, they're like, "Hey, that's that lady we interviewed." Even her face and voice modifiers, there's no way that they're gonna block her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're like, "Oh yeah,
Yes.
I know that lady. I questioned that lady 20 years ago." Whatever the case might be, unless she's going to be like, "Hey, this is my dying thing, and I'm going to say it live on video, and I know this is for fact. I'm not hallucinating. I wasn't doing drugs at the time I saw this,"
Right.
and do it on the news or something like that. They're gonna hide it. So honestly,
Yeah.
I've seen some crazy stuff myself. One of these days, I'll tell the story with my grandfather in World War II and a
Hmm.
disappearing ship that they were on. Some crazy crap was happening there, and so I know for a fact there's organizations out there to hide the truth. But
well, well, if you've got a little bit more time, how's your night running, Aaron? What's your time
dude,
like?
it's only 11 o'clock. I'm good.
Okay, you're good. All right, because I've got a little bit more to talk about, dude.
All right, go for it.
Speaking of things disappearing, you might be seeing this in the news. Those of you watching, it's all over the news. You can't deny it. Donald Trump's looking into it himself. They're launching an investigation. What has happened? Another scientist has now come up missing. Let me tell you, there's a total of now 11 scientists that have come up missing, all of which are related to Arrow, which is our I got the definition here. All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, and basically it's led by Dr. John Kozlowski. And basically, when it was founded in like it's not even that old. Basically, that whole department's whole objective was to take in any military claims of UAP, UFO, whatever it is, and bring it to their office so they can investigate it. So basically, you don't need to seek out journalists. You don't need to go on TV. If it happens under the military skyways, we'll handle it.
Hmm.
So okay, it's put into place. Well, all 11 of these scientists, ranging from, I mean, maybe 40 years old up to full blown retired, like an elder lady. I don't have all their names here. They're all tied to U.S. nuclear and space development, which is interesting because NASA just got going again and
Went
had to
to the
do this
moon.
whole went to the moon, and I don't really know about that. We'll get more into that. So they're all part of Arrow.
Yeah.
So this Arrow has now already been under scrutiny. They're already, having to do these alien press conferences, and now there's the whole whistleblower protection program. So all these people can come forward and they can talk about encounters and stuff. I mean, there's Lieutenant what was his first name? But something Frable. He's the one who saw the infamous Tic Tac,
Yeah.
which was the UFO that looked like a Tic Tac, and they tracked it and the
It
whole
was
bit. Well,
flying
that's how
back
this
and
whole
forth and zigzagging over the
uh
ocean,
huh.
over some whitewater stuff in the ocean. Yeah.
Yep, down over out of the coast of Mexico down there. And so over 1,600 reports that came into Arrow, they debunked almost all of them as birds and blah, blah, blah. So we're thinking these scientists, like you said, where the men in black might be involved, because I think they're listening to us right now.
Yeah. Guarantee that.
I
But
mean, I hate to scare you or the viewers, but they're listening to us right now.
you can suck it for all I care. I'm armed and ready. But honestly, I've heard of
Yeah.
Project Arrow, but I've never heard about no scientists going missing or anything like that. I mean,
Yes.
literally,
Yes.
I follow a lot of conspiracy theories just to see where the world's
This,
going,
well,
but
here's I'm
I've
going to say
never heard
something
of
right
it.
now. This is not a conspiracy. This is fact. This is actual news. I'm going to try and pull up. If I go right here to my history, you have access to another screen, right? So you can
Yeah.
type this in. Okay, I'm going to go right here. History. I'm going to pull up a video. I want the viewers to be able to follow along too. I'm going to give you the exact name of it.
Post it in the chat,
Type.
the video chat.
Um. Okay, how do we do this, bud?
Right
Oh.
here.
Okay. Let me go to chat right there. Okay. All right. So then, what do we got here? Boom. So how do I post it in there? Just copy the link.
Yeah,
Because see,
just
if I go to another tab, I'm running a whole different deal over
oh
here,
yeah,
bud.
never
This
mind.
is
I'll
a
just type
special
it in.
system,
Just tell me
man.
what it is then, bro.
All
Sorry.
right, type in at least 11 U.S. scientists dead or missing.
So it's not a website? Okay.
No, it's on YouTube.
At least
And see when
11.
you U.S. scientists dead or missing, and this is comes from WCYB Channel 5 News. It's a national news. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, you guys can type that in too. Once again, at least 11 U.S. scientists dead or missing, prompting congressional probe. And basically, what happens is there's a couple of cases where the one lady, dude, she was out hiking in the Angeles Forest here in California. This isn't that long ago, with her two friends. She's hiking up just ahead. They get up to just the same hill as her. Never fucking seen her again. Zero traces of her. They've done all the investigation, search team. You fucking name it. Zero,
She just
nothing.
vanished, right?
Like, boom, gone,
She was in front of them and then just gone.
gone.
Yeah.
Like as soon as she made it to where they're going up there hiking. Oh yeah,
The
get off of
crest,
me. Oh
yeah.
my god, look, a squirrel. Wait, where's Kelly? And then boom, Kelly's fucking gone, dude.
Poor
And then
Kelly.
you had yeah, I know. That kind of does suck. Another one, this old lady, you'll see it. You're going to watch that video later. You
Dude,
posted
there's
it
a
in the chat.
crap ton. Yeah,
Okay, well, it's the one. It's the one where it's like an old guy, and it says national news. At least 11 scientists dead or missing.
yeah, I'll add it to
That'll work.
I'll add it to our chat when the video goes live so people can link it too. It's
All right. Well,
News
hopefully
5
this
and
this will.
CYB. Yeah. But there are a
Yeah.
crap ton of even AIs talking about it right now, saying uh, Carl Grimier. I don't know how to
Mm-hmm.
say names and all.
Yep.
Amy, yeah, Frank. There's a
Yeah,
crap
that's
ton
the
of
Amy.
people
Yeah,
just
there's
disappearing.
11 of them at least missing, dude. And the thing is the one of them
White House
is.
is investigating it too right now, as of
Oh,
4 days ago.
and the reason that is because they're just getting ready to do another UFO disclosure. You know, every president kind of takes their swing at it, and the Men in Black or the DOD's never going to let the president in. There's no reason for him to.
Unless they fully
Uh,
declassify everything, it'll never get
which
leaked.
would never. You know how many black marks will be on those papers, dude?
Yeah, I mean, just like the Epstein files that got
Redacted,
released.
redacted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I've tried to read into some of that's too much literature for me. I need book on tape. Like I can't. I
I'll
need
read
the.
it to you. I'm
Yeah, I
bad
need
with names.
the Epstein files on tape. I
Yeah,
mean, so.
dude, that's just sick, man. I hate to tell you, the Epstein files are sick.
Oh.
Yeah,
Do you really believe that? Let's get into a little bit because here's some of the rumors that I've heard. And if you've read any of the files, what do they say about the cannibalism part of it?
dude,
Because
there's
supposedly,
videos and pictures of full humans and children, basically rotisserie styled on the food table, laid out, and they're
but
cooked.
like, let's say I had like these sicko, weirdo, crazy desires and tons of money. I don't even think that's on my list.
No, I mean, human flesh is legal in certain cities and countries to
No,
eat, but still,
no,
you're not eating a whole effing person. That it literally
I
is like rotisserie style human female sitting there, legs pulled up like a damn spread turkey, and she was fully cooked. You could tell she was on a smoker or a grill or something on a damn table. You don't see any of the people. All the people's faces are blacked out around this object sitting on the table. But yeah, it's freaking disgusting, man.
and that's a real. That's
That's
not some
real.
like
That's right out of the Epstein
it
files.
wasn't at like a Halloween party and they had some cake decorator come in and make it look like a body
That
and
would
it
be
wasn't
pretty
really a,
cool to say, yeah, it wasn't a person, but it was so grotesque that even I believe it was real.
and recently some YouTubers went to the island and tried, but everything's gone. I mean,
Yeah,
even if you get into the buildings, you're not going to see much. If
yeah,
you would have done that before, like you'd have probably been shot and killed and thrown in the ocean or roasted or cooked or
yeah. I just was watching
yeah.
something about I don't know even if how to believe if that's true or not, but SpongeBob SquarePants was designed and drawn for all the kids that were locked up on that island. And even the Nickelodeon logo looks
You know what?
exactly like the island. It's the same shape as the
Yes,
island.
yes, yes,
So
yes. I seen that.
yeah, and it always says, "Are you ready, kids?" So it talks about that stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I want to believe that, but it wouldn't put it past it.
Oh
This
my
bunch of sick
god.
shit that's happening, dude. I think pedophiles is going to be thrown into a wood chipper.
Yeah, I wish there was like a program where like if you however many you can bring in, you get like X amount per. Like
Yeah,
you could go get like so like every year, hell yeah, dude, I got 25 tags this year, bro.
yeah.
Let's go, you know?
Or start
That'd be so
an
fun.
aliens versus predators and give illegals legal status to bring in predator.
Oh
Yeah, aliens
yeah.
versus predators. There you go.
Oh, that might be good. Pay him good money.
Yeah, just bring them in. You get your legal citizenship. There you go. You got one, and then there you go. I don't know.
That's not about it's not about the only thing is because there's so many of these pedophiles out there just I don't it really stretches my brain.
Yeah,
It really
it's
stretches my brain.
honestly it's horrible. I I don't like it.
I mean, and then to think like the Clintons and this and that were people that were there, and it's like I get it. Like, okay, he probably had. It's just like the Diddy parties.
I did not
He
inhale.
probably had. Yeah,
I didn't
I did
have
not
sexual
have sexual
relations.
relations with that woman.
Yeah.
Shit. I don't know. It's just like Diddy parties and all that. I'm sure there were some parties where nothing went on and there was a lot of high end people there, but then it was like you had your elite. Supposedly there's some club too, like up in the forest of Northern California. It's some elite thing and they all dress in like that thing with the horns and it's like a
The demon
they
thing.
do all
Yeah.
the yeah, they do these sexual rituals and they
I've heard
fucking
about all that
I'm
stuff, but
just like I'm like, wow, that's what you. I guess because once you're that rich, you've already once you've eaten everything you want to eat, you've gone everywhere you like. Well, I'm bored. I want to start like fucking
eating
joining
people.
cults, and
Shit, who
eating
knows?
people, and
Taking the
fucking
blood from children
and
to make myself younger with that
yeah, oof,
evachromodome, whatever the hell it's called. It's some crazy shit, man. It's just
huh?
nasty. But
Yeah.
it'd be nice to be rich,
Well,
though.
yeah, I'd like to give it a shot. I'd like to get to that point and then say, okay, cut me off.
uh,
You know,
I don't need more than 1 million. I'm fine.
man, shit, for
But
real.
crazy crap.
Yeah,
You gotta
it
say,
would be nice.
you gotta talk about your story with the crazy Karen. I've wanted to hear this.
All right, so I got a quick Karen story. It's not really a conspiracy. This really happened. So I was out at the golf course the other day with me and three other friends. So there's four of us. Good math. And we're making our way through the course, dude. And mind you, I'm not the best golfer. Whatever. I go out, I have a good time. We have our beers, we tell stories, we golf, whatever. So we're up on the 10th hole, which is right after halftime. You stop at the halfway house, get a hot dog, whatever. Cool. Waiting for the group in front of us to get far enough up the hill so then we can tee off. So you're going to tee off this ledge. And I mean, it's pretty wide. There's neighborhoods on both sides, but it's like a 60, 70-foot drop. So I tee off, whew, it goes, and I hit right at the gate line along these houses. 240 yards out, whatever it is, a very common slice spot, bad shot. Oh fuck. Okay, whatever. So my other buddies tee off. So we have to go to kind of where I'm at to kind of at least look and see if I can find my ball. And then my other buddy we could see he was just up. So we kind of all pull in right there. We're waiting for the other group in front of us now on the green. And I'm like looking, I'm yelling something at my buddy Jamie, like, hey, don't fuck up, dude, talking shit. And I hear thump like behind me on the grass. And then another, like, what the fuck, dude? And I'm like, all right, the group behind us must not be able to see I'm here. So they're teeing off already and the balls are landing like right where I'm at. No, there wasn't even a group up there. It's a lady. This lady's in her backyard. She's got a mask on. She's got rubber gloves on that go almost to the fucking elbow, dude.
Turn your head and cough,
That's
bro.
like, yeah, like this kind of like floppy wannabe I'm out in the garden hat. She's got like an accent of like I don't know if she's Indian or what she is, like not your typical Dane, and I don't know, a mask on and 40 yards away or what 20. So she just starts winging these fucking golf balls, dude, kind of behind into the grass area, and I'm like, oh, that's probably where my golf ball went. And I was like, well, if I hit her or whatever, I'm gonna be the first person to say, hey, sorry, my bad, yeah, I suck, whatever, and then move on. And then I look back towards my buddy and I hear one boom, it hits the roof of the golf cart right where I'm standing. So now she's trying to fucking hit me, dude. I lost it.
Yeah.
I fucking turn, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you throwing golf balls? Oh, you don't like golf? I thought you guys were playing golf. And she just starts throwing them like fuck you. I don't care. And I'm just like, I literally said, are you fucking stupid? I said, I have my phone. I have GPS. I can go to your house after I'm done here. You don't know where I live. Stop throwing fucking golf balls at me. Like I lost it. And my buddy Jamie's like, hey, dude, what's going on? And my other two buddies, they're kind of laughing like, fuck, this lady's fucking nuts, dude.
Sounds like she
And
is.
so then she throws another one. Well, it doesn't hit me, but I told her, oh, you hit me. What the fuck? Like she goes, no, I never hit nobody. Everybody loves me right here and this and that. Like she's telling me the fucking this and that. I'm like, ooh, dude, I wanted to. But at this point, my blood is boiling because it's like, I know there's really nothing I can do. And she's probably sick of obviously she threw a dozen or more balls over the gate. So obviously they land there. That's like
It
a
hits there
pretty
often, man.
average difference. Yeah, that's an average distance and a slice. She literally bought the one house on the block that nobody probably wants. And but again, it's like, dude, you don't just start fucking throwing, but because a golf ball from, 25, 40 feet away, whatever it is, hits you in the head, it's going to fucking hurt,
Yeah.
especially unexpectedly. And it's like, bitch, I didn't pay money. I didn't pay fucking money to be out here and get assaulted by a golf ball, especially not by a non golfer that's not on the course.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. You know what I mean? If that's the case, then you need to file a complaint, or you need to have a net put up, or you need to just stay in the house
Yeah, my whole
and
thing is
watch
about that is like
fucking
that golf course was there first. She didn't buy that house before that
100%.
golf course. She knew that she was moving
No.
into a golf course. So balls are going
Yes.
to end up. You're going to get a broken window eventually. If you don't like it, you got to either put up one of the nets or literally sue the golf course until they do it themselves. But
Mhm.
dude, that's uncalled for. Especially, I mean, the typical person. My ex sister in law, she literally lives on a golf course. She takes the balls that land in her backyard and throws them over the fence every day that she goes out there. She's got all these lemon trees, orange trees, and stuff. And
And that's fine.
that's what she does. But there's nobody right there. She's not throwing them at
That's what
people.
I'm saying.
She's
She's
like,
not
"Oh,
like,
another ball. Here you go, guys. Whoever finds it gets it."
dude, we had this guy one time. He literally was going ballistic on a group next to us. And they're like, dude, like what, like, and it didn't hit him, it like bounced off his gate, but it's one of those things, like, if you get really 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 sick and tired of people hauling ass up and down your street, or it's one of those things. I get it, right?
Yeah, over time you
but
get aggravated.
dude, if I moved into the marina and started screaming, "Stop using your boat,"
Yeah,
they'd be like, "What? Wait, what?"
yeah,
Or I move next to an airport and I'm going to call every day and say, "You need to stop flying these fucking planes."
yeah. How dare you wake me up at
Uh,
midnight?
one thing I do hate though, and I wish I could call and complain, and I might, is the fucking trains here, dude. Now you should see our train station here in Ontario. It's
Oh, they put that Metro link in from Redlands all the way back through there. It goes all the way to Hollywood or
dude.
something
We've
now.
got we've got cargo trains, Aaron, that come from LA all the way to Chicago and Illinois, and you know where all that cargo's going? To Europe. They
Yeah,
use us as a shortcut. So the rail companies are making all this money, none of the products for us,
yeah.
and we have to deal with train after train. You can't even go down none of our side streets anymore. You have to go to the main streets because you will get stuck at a train and you will be banged.
Dude, that happened all the time when I lived in Cali, man. I lived in some rough areas though. But yeah,
Life, yeah.
to get it on you. There
I got me a little pinch of that chow. I put a little beef tallow oil in there and a little whiskey.
you
It's a
go.
steak dinner, dude. If you
That's some
do it
good
right, it's a
stuff.
steak
You ever
dinner.
had it?
You know what I'm saying?
But
But yeah, so
that's
what do you got for me, dude?
dude. Oh, speaking of the trains, did you see the train? One of the engines caught fire today, this morning. I think it was. They
We're at.
I think it was Colorado. I'd have to relook it up. I would actually had it open, but when Google crashed, it kind of lost everything.
Fucking Google, man. They're the worst sometimes.
Dude, and then it uses so much RAM on your computer, so it's literally just choking the shit out of everything. So when I'm running
Yeah.
this app, it eats it up. But when you start running another Google page, it's just like I don't want to. Doesn't matter. You got 32 gigs. It just chokes it to death. But yeah. So
Mm.
anyway, this train was going cross country, and they had 6 or 7 engines on it, and the second engine was fully engulfed in flames, and the main driver in the front engine couldn't see it. So it's still going, barreling down the tracks, flames just boiling out of that second engine. I'm like, yeah.
Well, so nobody got hurt?
It didn't say anything about it. It was on the one
Yeah.
of the news channels I was reading, and it was just like,
Mm.
what the heck? I don't get this. Why don't they have like phone number on the train
How?
like they have on big rigs. It's like, hey, bro, your train's on fire. You might want to pull off for a second, put that shit out or something. They don't have
Right.
anything like that. You got to call the
It's
800
all this.
number.
Yeah, it's this weird rail company, dude. These rail companies, they're ran by the weirdest organization because, like, for example, I have a friend that works for Kia, and Kia deals in the port. They deal with rail, they deal with air freight, and they deal with trucking, which is like port. But he said the crazy thing is Kia is ran by Koreans, and Koreans fund all of the operation over here, and they just pretty much run amok
Yeah,
on the fucking rail system. The rail company, cool. As long as we're getting a check, you guys do what you got to do. So they'll stick an American engineer in one of their fucking engines that runs their fucking shit around, pay them fucking whatever.
25
And
cents.
so whatever it is, and then
They make damn good money,
that's
man.
it.
I applied for that company.
Oh, they make so much fucking money, dude. And then like BNSF is a good one too. And then there's like what are some of the other rail companies? I forget. I really
Dude,
don't
there's
know
a
them all.
crap ton. I just know with all the train crashes and toxic chemicals that are filling our water streams and stuff around here, it's kind of crazy.
Hey, why is the Mississippi River so low right now?
Dude, everything's
Have you
low. Even our lake right now is 22 feet low.
what's going on with that?
Just didn't get a lot of snowfall this year, I'm guessing. I mean,
Well,
we
it sure
there
seemed like you did.
there was a crap ton of
I
snow,
mean,
but there wasn't a lot of snow. Usually we have snow that lasts for weeks on end. This year we had a couple weeks of just a couple days of snow and that's it for a couple weeks. Usually it's
which is weird.
5 weeks straight of snow.
Would you say this year you had more record warm days when you were supposed to have cold days then, huh?
No, it
Or what do you
was
think? Cuz
kind of even on that. Like seriously,
okay.
our cold and hot days were roughly even. It was even less humid here, so it was just different this year. It's very odd, but yeah, it's crazy, dude.
You guys be getting yeah, what do you got? What do you got?
I forgot to tell you, there's a ship that they found in Greenland, and they're saying it's still active right now. I'm trying to find it while we were
A
talking.
ship.
A spaceship
Oh, hold
or
on. We got a
a
smoke. Oh, there we go.
or it's either a spaceship or forgotten technology that
Okay.
forced because what was it in the 1200 and stuff? They're saying Greenland used to be covered in green because
Well, yeah.
all the old maps show streams that go through the whole continent or island, whatever you want to call it, and trees. All the maps show that from the old 1200s and all the way up to the 1400s. But they're saying this technology, the ship that's there, is actually a weather creation device, and that's what forced the snow to cover all of Greenland. And
Oh.
they're saying the technology is still there, and there's people. There's so right at the coast, there's a station that is completely class 5 classified. So it's one of the highest classifications of classified, and only people that have that classification can be at this station, and then they either take their snowmobiles, dog sleds, whatever the hell, and go and get the technology out of the ship to understand how it works. But it's still working to this day, and they're saying they have it shut down or turned down, and that's why the islands and even the poles are starting to defrost some.
Because I'm seeing YouTube videos popping up. Why does everybody want Greenland?
Well,
It's probably because of that weather
it,
control
it's
deal.
very possible. I know Trump wants it just because Canada will not sell. They're
Right.
that country's gone to shit worse than any country there is right now.
But it makes sense that they're not going to sell, dude. If you think about it, they've been off the radar. Nobody even talks about them.
Dude, Canada's crazy though, man.
Yeah.
I lived there for 6 months. I built
Really?
yeah, when I was I don't know,
Oh,
18,
yeah. You
17.
know what? I think I remember that.
So I lived there for about 6 months. I helped build a couple churches and get some stuff going up
20
there.
years ago, dude.
Dude, it was a long time ago. And yeah, it was honestly it was fun being up there, but those same people that I used to hang out with when I was up there, they've all
Yeah.
gone whack job. They're full libretarded now. Like
Yeah.
absolutely insane. They're like, the government tells us what we can do and what we can't do. We gotta listen to the government because they know best. It's like,
Oh,
what the
jeez.
fuck happened to you guys? You guys used to be like, oh, guns are good. We need them to protect ourselves. I mean, the
Yeah.
Geneva Convention, half of it's written because of Canada. And so it's like, what happened to these people where they'll go do something and they're like, oh, sorry, we need to write this in the rule book because that was too cruel in war, to these little bitches that are getting taxed 80% for owning a
Mhm.
farm. So
God.
it's kind of gone shit. So Trump is like, well, if I can get Greenland, I don't need to cover Canada's airspace anymore. I have Alaska, which is all of the west coast of Canada. And if I get
Mhm.
Greenland, that's all of the east coast. There's no one going to touch our airspace from the north ever again now. The only way
Mhm.
is from, what is it, Russia directly over Canada, but we already have our, I think he's
Yeah, our
calling it our
defense.
Diamond Dome or whatever he's calling it now, where we can
Yeah.
see all of the airspace north of Canada and everything. So if we can get land or set up some satellite dishes on Greenland, Iceland, whatever you want to call it, Greenland, if we can put those dishes there and some nuclear deterrence or something to take down ballistic missiles there, this country would never have any air strike ever against us again.
Right.
We'd be able to take
Right.
out anything inbound towards us. So
Yeah,
it
really, I
makes
think
sense.
yeah. Yeah. And you know what? That just tells me that like that's all the stuff that we can learn about. So it lets you know how much they're probably doing for homeland security because for me that's like always been my biggest threat. I've never really had the fear of like another country invading. I mean, not to sound like it can't happen, but I feel like we're pretty protected, but it's the sleeper cells and the
Oh yeah,
our own people that turn against like America and just like and I'm not talking about like racial issues, way deeper than that. I'm talking about like just pure hate, pure evil. They don't care what color you are. They just want to kill everybody like for some cause that's so prehistoric and so pointless that I that's what I hope we have the most control over, honestly.
well, what was it? Just recently that they released documentation of our F-35 jet that we have just produced. It's got all the stealth information and stuff, and yet China just released an exact copy called the J-35. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
a one for one copy. There's
Of
no
course
way
they did
they
that.
would have gotten the schematics for it. There's no way they got the blueprints for it
Dude.
legally. There's no way they
No,
could
no.
have got it.
The thing is, dude, I mean, okay, if you right now like like honest opinion, who has the most access to technology? The secret people of China or the secret people of the US? I mean, because if you think about technology comes from China in such an abundant rate,
Yeah.
but it's so controlled over there. So they can literally they don't have any interference in the like our internet and our freedom to go on internet is so much shit in the way of our technology and
Yeah.
like our intelligence
It's
that
almost as
over
bad as
there
China, but
yeah, but China like limits your TikTok, they limit your Instagram, you can't have Facebook, like everything is so dumbed down over there that their intelligence side is like a fucking wide open
yeah,
path.
they have, what do you call it? Something red something. Anyway, they have all these firewalls that basically
VPN blockers
yeah,
and
freedom of information is not allowed in China. So I feel like everything here is like, okay, there's a wall of shit in the way, like TikTok, where, okay, well, instead of getting smarter, let's do this dance craze now to this stupid ass
right
music and
instead of
drown,
learning.
yeah, and drown out what could be essential thinkers and potential someone that
And,
can cure cancer or something like that. And they
and in
actually,
China, it's all learning. I heard it's all like how to and learning and teaching. Like the TikTok is very strict algorithm to where you don't see like 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 stupidity. Really, you don't see like yeah, these kids, oh, like dancing and making these funny videos and getting millions of views. Like that's not what they're trying to push on their youth over there.
Yeah.
So like there's some good things to it, but then again, that's like the opposite of freedom.
Well,
Because
TikTok
if I
TikTok in China is a learning app. It's
right.
literally it teaches math, teaches English, teaches Chinese, it teaches everything. Here it's
Hmm.
a dumb app. Literally there's some things on it you can learn if you get down the proper rabbit hole. Otherwise
Yeah,
it's just
but you got
like
to really search it out.
yeah, otherwise it's basically OnlyFans. I mean, it's
Hmm.
gotten pretty
Yeah.
bad. Like even I sent this to my dad. I might even send it to you. It's ivermectin and fembendazole ends
Uh huh.
cancer. It even stage 4 cancer is pretty much wiped out with those two things, and that's what everyone was trying to say to take during COVID. It'll kill COVID out of your body, and yet
Hmm.
everyone that brought that up on any social media instantly got their account deleted. I had 6 accounts
Crazy.
on Facebook deleted,
That's
and yet
crazy.
it's all being released from different colleges have tested thousands of people, and it works on like 14 different variants of cancer, completely wiping it out of the body. Even brain cancer, it's getting rid of it completely out of the body just using those two uh,
And
pharmaceuticals,
and
but they're natural pharmaceuticals. I mean,
and are they easy to get? I mean,
yeah, ivermectin is something you can get at your animal supply house. Any person that has horses or anything like that can get ivermectin. That fen oh crap, how do you say it? Fembendazole. Yeah, fembendazole. I don't know exactly where to get it, but they've already proved it gets rid of parasites and other things in your body that shouldn't be there. And yet these colleges and universities are now saying those two taken together will kill almost every cancer, and
wow.
literally stage 4 cancer where you're about to die, and they're basically doing micro doses and IV solution, and it's literally washing through and getting rid of these blastomas and tumors and getting rid of everything out of the body. And it's like this is some crazy crap, but yet it's buried so hard it's ridiculous. And
Hmm.
I keep finding it on X. That's one of the reasons why I follow X so much. That's what I'm saying. You got to get another X account if you
Yeah,
have one that's leaning pretty hard right, you open another one and make it lean far left, and you'll get the news from everything. And
that's
truthfully,
smart.
that's what I have. I have 2 different X accounts,
So you
and
kind of get to pick and choose what you feel is really going on.
yeah, and you have those earthers on both sides of the spectrum. I mean,
Yeah.
flat Earth is also a severely old school Bible belief because it talks
Hmm.
about the firmament and how God created the earth in a circle instead of the globe. It says circle in the Bible. So it's like, did God mistake and say the globe wrong? I mean, it was,
Instead of just a flat, right?
yeah. So if you look at a flat earth map, it's a circle with an ice wall around it, and it has what we would call a dome over it. It says the water's below or as the water's above. So it's like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff if you are going to believe flat earthers that the Bible would back on that stuff too. So
You
it,
know what makes me think something then, dude? Is how the ocean is almost unexplorable? Like we almost don't have the lifetime to.
yeah, it's like 8% of
It
the ocean, if that
it makes
is.
me think that then that would be the perfect portal, this portal everybody always wonders, like from outer space back. So if these UFOs and stuff can come down, we already know they can go in water. So all they're doing is they're returning back into the water, going around, looping up into what's the water above us, and now they're back out of the dome, still in water. So it's kind of like you go back to SpongeBob.
Yeah,
There's other theories because if you look at Sandy the squirrel, she's the only Earth-like thing in the entire cartoon, and she lives in a fucking dome.
yeah.
So what and then what always happens in like I don't know if I think SpongeBob had happened, The Simpsons, where all of a sudden that fucking
The
they
glass
run
dome,
and they
yeah.
finally hit the edge,
There's TV
and it's
shows called
kind of
like
like,
Under the Dome and stuff that are just like that too.
yeah. So why would all of these theories come that far to? I mean, I get it because you can make a movie about anything, but I, I don't know, dude. I
Yeah,
don't know. There needs to be a better explanation, and there needs to stop being all these like people that want to become like priests and whatever. They just kind of like do the studies to become what they need to become, and then run off what it is.
yeah,
Like, where's our Bible archaeologists? Where's the ones that are like trying to not necessarily debunk the book, but like further clarify it in another way? But it's like if they do that, you open up too many questions that'll take you away from just your day in and day out prayer, belief, faith, send me money to the church.
yeah,
Or like, I mean, there's just too many parts of it that really bother me, dude.
yeah. And honestly, it's all crazy. There was a mathematician. He has the highest IQ ever recorded, over 286, I think it was. And he
God,
said, I
what's
could.
mine? What do you think my IQ is, real quick though? Like, if you had to guess.
I honestly, I have no idea.
Hold on, let me.
I don't even know how IQ is calculated, truthfully. But
That low, huh?
I honestly, I hell,
That's
man.
fine. Anyways, he's a 280. What else?
I'm just saying he has the highest IQ ever recorded, higher than Einstein, higher than Tesla, and he's saying I could prove God exists, that there is a creator just in math equations. And he was
Okay.
talking about these videos. It's on YouTube. I think it's called I Believe God Exists, or I Could Prove God Exists, or something like that, just with
Okay.
math. And he goes through all these things. He said, he's talking about these math numbers. He said if these math can always equal up to something, there was always a start. There was always a beginning, and the Big Bang doesn't prove a beginning. It proves that we started from nothingness. So he goes through
Uh,
all these different things, and he's like, and that's the only reason why I believe that there is a creator, is because that math is proving that there was a creator. He doesn't talk about Jesus or Mohammed. He doesn't talk about Hinduism. He doesn't talk about any of that. He just says there has to be a creator because math shows there's a creator. There has to be something in the beginning to start everything.
well,
But
every religion has a flood of some sort.
yeah,
Every religion has a focal point of someone or something that can do things and have made that nobody else or nothing can do. They all have like the descendants
yeah,
of said God, which are your monks or your priests or your holy people or blah blah blah, your shamans, your all the
Buddhas,
way
yeah,
every Buddhist, every religion has their offspring of like hardcore Christian cults, or these Buddhist people that don't wear shoes and live in the hill. Like, so who's to say that any one of them is right or wrong, or is it all just an interpretation of the actual event and the actual story? Because for humans, it's like, I tell my buddy, oh, I don't believe in God, whatever, he'll tell me that, and I'll say, well, look, this was always my thing from what I took from like a Christian religion is, if you don't believe in nothing, you might as well believe in something.
yeah,
Because at the end, if you didn't believe in nothing, you didn't even give yourself an opportunity to be like, oh shit, they were right. Instead of being so stubborn that I don't care if I die and go to this hell or this just blatant land, or I get reincarnated as
yeah,
mud because I didn't do shit, whatever it is, like you might as well, if you want to believe in reincarnation, then believe you're going to come back as a fucking lion,
yeah,
or like do your whatever because you have the time.
yeah,
So do your research and figure out what it is you want to believe in, because I feel like that's ultimately the goal, is to have something you believe in higher than yourself, and that'll lead you to whatever that said religion's afterlife is, virgins, or it's all crazy, and it's all it is to entice you.
yeah.
Ours is like mansions made of gold, and like you still
Pearly
know all your
gates,
loved
yeah,
ones, all, and it's like, really though, like in like Like, where's the evidence for that stuff? Why do we have to sugarcoat just the underline? What is it? You know, so that's what. And then, like, the Bible never speaks of aliens, this and that. Well, yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, and some of the
You know,
lost books of the Bible, the ones that
hmm
were purposely removed.
and like the burning bush is actually a fiery orb, and was like the, you know, the Egyptians have their belief of, like, you know, with the book of Enoch and all that, there's this interpretation of it, and it's like, man, when you start really diving into it, you're like, dude, the Sunday school teacher didn't know shit.
Yeah. So real quick, it says detailed exploration of the ocean is approximately 5% of the globe's oceans. Only 5% have been detailed explored. So that's nothingness.
And see, if it is a flat earth, you got to think all of our land would be in a majority area of the ocean, which still leaves that much ocean surrounding all of us before you even get to the ice wall, which we all know. I feel like anytime you try to sail to it, you're just going to end up in the forbidden Antarctica.
Yeah.
And why would all of the world can't agree on fucking nothing say, okay, we agree, we're not going to let nobody explore there,
Yeah.
and they leave it alone? Like, well, hold on a
Only
minute.
specific scientists are allowed to be there. And then they have to
And we see what happens to them.
well, and then they have to sign a NDA. They have to sign all these paperworks. Basically, will kill you if you ever say anything that you see here. It's freaking crazy in Antarctica. It's I don't understand why they'd have to be so secretive about it. Yeah,
Yeah. And why
visual
was people, yeah.
visual exploration. They said we've only seen 1/1000th. No, I'm sorry, 1/10,000th of a percent of the deep sea floor. We've only done a visual exploration.
Jeez.
So
That's nothing.
we barely scratched. I wouldn't say even the surface of what is in our own oceans.
Yeah, you haven't even stuck an entire toe in the water yet.
Yeah, basically. I mean,
You passed by it and you saw it.
yeah.
That's how much, that's it.
I mean,
I think I seen it.
on our last episode, I talked about the giant ass fish that are in our lake right here, and the guy said he would never dive there ever again. Can you imagine what's in our ocean still? I
Oh,
mean,
I mean,
it,
things that would dwarf a blue whale.
yeah, and they're saying 5%. Well, these animals are moving. If 5%'s been approximately 5% of the ocean's been detailed exploration, then these animals are never going to be seen unless we scan the whole surface of the earth at the exact same time, and not just surface, but the oceans as well. So
That's
it's
crazy.
absolutely insane. But
That's mind boggling.
yeah,
That's like, even that's really the biggest mystery on earth, really, is just the ocean, period. Like, you could just start and stop there, because why even go to space when you haven't even learned shit about where you're at?
yeah,
Why we supposedly going to, and then you're gonna tell me that they're saying there was no space shuttle strapped to the rocket and they lived in that little fucking coconut.
yeah.
So how did they get up and walk to the restroom, or how,
Where's the
like,
restroom? It doesn't even.
what's going on with that, dude?
Yeah. So I saw schematics, kind of what their housing was on the spaceship that went around the moon, and
Uh-huh.
there's no room to do anything in there. How are
Not
you?
with that many people, dude.
Yeah, you got what, 4 people on that thing, and then you're just like, oh yeah, no, that's not
I,
possible.
I,
And then you have this girl taking a selfie of the moon of the Earth.
watch, and then she's watching the Eagles. She put on a recording of the Eagles game. Like, all it is this fandom. And did you know that they did research on her, and that she's an actress
All
from
of them were.
some, yeah, and I'm like, well, of course. It's, so this was basically a Hollywood film that just played out like Fear Factor.
Yeah.
In reality, it's all staged.
So all of them were on IMDb. If you go into, I think it's called the Wayback Machine online, you can actually
Uh-huh.
see older versions of the websites. And if you go on IMDb, all 4 of them are actors, are paid actors. So I mean, I forgot the not the firm that they work for. Anyway, the basically the firm that they
Like
work
a
for.
Warner Brothers or
Yeah,
whatever
basically
type.
like that. But even Trump himself and previous presidents have said that exact same firm before of
Hmm.
acting, and every time that firm gets spoken of, it's usually in space exploration or um, there was another thing like these mass shootings or something like that. It was
Right,
being brought
right.
up as these same people from this firm. So
Oh, and like with the riots and where do all these people come from and how they have all that much time to be off and in the street. Well, yeah, they're getting funded.
yeah, lots of them. And then where's all the money for bailouts and stuff? All that coming from? It's all magically appearing.
Yeah.
So
And then you don't hear nothing about it ever again. It's not even on the news no more.
yeah, just like the fires in Hawaii or uh, the
That's still going
the
to be one of the
earthquakes and
biggest.
tornadoes and crap that are happening. How are
Yeah. Oh, Japan hit with this massive tsunami and massive earthquake. I heard one quick report,
yeah,
nothing else.
this massive what was it, a 7.6 earthquake off the coast of Russia or something like that created a tsunami that was going to hit Japan. Heard nothing about that. This category 5 super tsunami or something, I can't something like this.
Typhoon or
Typhoon, that's the
fucking.
word. This They called it a super typhoon heading to just south of Japan. It was about to hit Guam, and all of a sudden, one of like I said, my friend down in Nashville, her family's from Guam. Guam's an American country or
Yeah.
province of America, and she calls her grandma, and they're like, "Yeah, it's just windy. It's not even that bad." So what's really happening? I don't know. I don't know.
Distractions.
Distractions, exactly,
You
because
know, and it's,
all that was happening during the shuttle to the moon.
which by the way launched on April's Fool's Day,
Yeah, and came back a week
which,
later, and she was fine. They were all fine and walking when they were on stage answering questions, but yet a week later, you see her in rehabilitation, can't even walk across the thing.
right.
It's like, you're saying the day you landed, you could walk just fine on stage to answer questions, but 7 days later, you're not able to barely walk 10 feet in a straight line anymore, and you're all falling over, looking crippled.
Yeah. They show her coming home and she's all happy with her dog and gets down on her knees and wrestling with the dog. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, you've recovered from. I mean, people get jet lagged coming from Australia worse than that.
Yeah. And you're saying you're in a zero gravity environment and your muscle loss is severely bad over a week. What is it, like 8% of muscle loss in a zero gravitational environment over a week? So literally you would be kind of crippled under our gravity, at least. You'd be
Yeah, I saw the
seizing up
one
and
guy
stuff.
supposedly walking with the soldiers helping him, and he's like acting like trying to fight. And I'm like, dude. And then they keep showing all the footage from the 1964 or whatever the
Yeah, and
first
they're
time they went
literally
up.
carried out of the pod,
Bro,
literally carried
it
out.
is
And
so
then
crazy.
these people are just like, no, I'll do it on my own. Da, da, da. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I don't know. I don't get it, but
And then them walking around on and then when they show the old moon rover and stuff, I'm like, dude, that's like a Chevy Impala stripped down with some foil
yeah,
and an old satellite strapped to the roof. I'm just like, man, this is. But there's no way to debunk it. I mean, you can. The facts can be right here on the internet. Type it in. Yes, it's false. All the old astronauts before they died said, I have to pretty much get it off my chest, except for one who basically kicked the reporter out of his house and said, you're trying to uh, twist my words. No, you're caught, motherfucker.
yeah. You're dead to rights, basically.
So yeah, I don't know, dude. The whole thing is very crazy. I mean, it's an interesting world we live in, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You got any more
That's why
bullet points you wanted to go over?
no, dude, I think we pretty much covered everything, guys. We did almost 2 hours and 30 minutes tonight. I think we rocked it pretty hard. That's what happens. We miss a week, we come back twice as strong, dude.
Yeah.
Don't mess with me and Techie.
Well, we
And
started
see,
earlier today too, so it's not 4 o'clock in the
it's
morning.
nice. It is nice. Yeah, exactly. But next week, next time we record, there's definitely going to be more topics. I'm going to have some more notes, more stories to cover. You also try and get at least one trail cam out. I mean, it'd be cool. Even if, I mean, I don't know, just strap it to the side of the trailer, whatever you got to do, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple trees I could strap it to, but it's just like I don't
I know.
understand what's going on out here. These sounds, these noises, the trailer shaking like crazy. Uh, I mean, it's finally getting warmer. I mean, it's midnight here roughly, and it's still 70 degrees. So, I
Jeez.
mean, even the frogs are out jumping around right now. So you're hearing all these noises, but don't have any idea what it could be.
All right. Well, I tell
So,
you what. When you go to bed tonight, be careful if you think you're in like a sedated state,
yeah, I
and
see an
next thing
orb
you
in
know,
my house.
yeah, you're clapping a lizard person. You know what's going on.
It's been long enough. Might as well go for it, right?
All right, folks, and with that, we're gonna sign off. Thank you guys again, and we'll see you on the next one.
Have a nice one, y'all.
All right, later.